What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Underground Pulse podcast. I am your host, Gunner B, and we got none other than the big-headed motherfucker Lee in this bitch.
Hey, what up?
What's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Hot as balls already.
Yeah, I could see you're fucking walking around. You're crazy, man. You're getting ready for God J, dog.
Right.
But,
I'm out here tearing the roof off, so it's hot.
yeah, we got a couple people working. Appreciate you dedicating your time. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna play a song or two before we get the interviews rolling. We're gonna kick things off with Tom Wood. Everybody's pretty fucking excited for this. I'm excited for this. Lee is excited for this. Thank you guys very much for tuning into the Underground Pulse. And yeah, let's get this rolling. Lee, put your fucking mic up. We can hear the wind. All right, give me just 1 second. I'll bring it up quick. Dark Lotus, the walls. And then we'll go. Oh, Cash is ahead of me. All right, send out invites. Share this bitch.
I sit up at night, it's at least 3 or 4. Blood dripping out my knuckles from knocking skin on drywall. I see a face like flashlights on the chins. The more I blink, the more it happens again. Damn, victims from like 89, floating their faces on the wall like it's the last time I'ma see them again. The same time every night, the wall gets bigger with every passing daylight.
Closing in on me, walls confide in me. Inside of me, there's an emptiness that won't go away. I never said that I was right inside my mind, but I'm sure over time I learned to climb the walls. I'm sure that over time I learned to right all of my wrongs. Sure, it's right, 4 walls reflecting my life every night that I sit and watch the replay.
Give me a whoop whoop in the chat if you're here. We need at least 4 whoop whoops in the chat right now. Give me a whoop whoop.
I can feel them looking at me. I can even hear them talking when I'm trying to sleep. Sometimes they start spinning or just closing in, and it's just too much to beat. I can't win, don't grin, it ain't funny. I just set it ablaze. I had to burn the whole house to escape that maze. I was burned from my neck to my feet, but it was worth it. Until I went back, I didn't even hurt.
One wall surrounds me, no roof, no floor. I started falling as soon as I stepped through the door. Plain walls, don't let me see a crack in the paint, or I'm focusing in. And focused I ain't, clang bang. I bloody the walls and leave stains, so the next man falling at least can see things. I think of my life, reliving every memory, staring into the walls of my epitome, falling.
Nothing but walls, but it's alright. My back to the room in the corner all night.
Even in the
Nothing but walls, but it's alright. My back to the room in the corner all night.
These walls keep
Nothing
watching
but
me,
walls,
watching
but
me.
it's alright. My back to the room in the corner all night.
Even in the
Nothing but
darkness,
walls, but it's alright. My back to the room in the corner all night.
I always catch myself staring into a dark daze. Same place, new age, hoes punch with rage. If they could talk, they probably wouldn't say much, because I always keep myself locked away and such. Just a sheltered life being wasted away, like 4 walls on a casket being put in a grave. So many hours spent looking at nothing, but I keep on glaring, steadily hoping for something.
I stare in his face through my cell gate. For 80 years I've been known as inmate 14278. Walls can't confine me on the loose every weekend. When the guards take me for my shock treatment, I be leaving out the space in my head to control the minds and unearth the undead. The problem is I'm only out for 2 days, and I return to my coma and these walls and bars around me.
Surrounding me, these walls ain't holding me back. They can't tell me where we at. I'm uncontainable. These walls surrounding me. These walls ain't holding me back. They can't tell me where we at. I remain in control. These walls surrounding me. These walls ain't holding me back. They can't tell me where we at. I remain in control. These walls surrounding me. These walls ain't holding me back. They can't tell
All right, I think we're just gonna run it.
Keep watching me.
All right, everybody. How you doing, Lee? You there, Lee? Lee?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to keep the mic off because of the wind.
You're good. Just face away from the wind, you motherfucker.
There's no fucking wind block here.
No, but anyway, so our first guest, I'm actually very honored to have on the Underground Pulse. He's very, very well known, very, very well respected within the Juggalo community, has worked on the image of Joker cards. I actually fucking have his art hanging up behind me. So without further ado, Cash, go ahead, bring in Tom Wood.
Hey, Gunner.
What is up, Tom? How are you doing, man?
Good, brother. How you been?
You know, I'm doing pretty damn good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I can't wait.
Good.
2 weeks till the gathering. One of my favorite times of the year. I get to see the whole family again. It's always a great time. So yeah, got some new stuff I'm bringing this year, and a lot more fantasy artwork along with some of the ICP stuff that's been
hell
done
yeah.
over the years. So I'm excited to unveil a couple new things that I think everybody would be excited about. And of course, it's just great to just see everyone. So that's really the biggest draw for me, is just getting to just have a nice little family reunion with all the friends I've made there over the years.
And might I say, dude, you're like super approachable when it comes to like conversing and talking, like literally anything. I can count a handful of times I just like ran into you at the gathering and just like said what's up to you, and you sat there and talked for like 5 minutes. You're super approachable, and we appreciate you out these parts for doing that, dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, I appreciate that. And I try to make time to visit with everybody that takes the time and is wants to come up and just ask questions about artwork or the process or what's been going on. And that's kind of the whole, like, the float is kind of based around that. It's like I want everybody just to take some time, and it's not the chaos that ensues at the gathering, because everybody's just running around in party mode, and that's what the gathering is known for. And the float is, you get to chill. Even if you're floating down the river in a raft next to each other, you get a chance to just catch up and shoot the shit, and it's just a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Lee, I'm not going to silence you any longer. What you got to ask for the homie Tom over here?
What is one artist that you've always wanted to work with, if there is one?
One that I always wanted to work with. Well, I would probably Dan DeSantos is probably an artist that I've known for years. I go out to Los Angeles every year and judge this Artist of the Future competition, and they have this big seminar where we kind of teach our skills to the next winners of these contests. Like every quarter, there'll be like 3 artists chosen that are the best artists of that quarter, and then they fly them all into LA, and then they bring in people like myself and Dan DeSantos and artists from Wizards of the Coast and artists from TSR that did Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, that are just legendary artists. I'm not gonna go through all the names, but Dan DeSantos is one of them that has always impressed me. His skills are amazing. If you ever get a chance to look him up, he does a lot of work for Marvel Comics, and has a really cool painterly style that's similar to mine, and I've gotten to know him over the years, because he's another one of those judges that go to LA and help these kids out, and I would love to collaborate on a project with him.
Hell yeah. That's definitely somebody who I'm gonna have to check out. I'm into Marvel and shit like that, so it's actually probably somebody I might be a little bit familiar with his work without even knowing it. So
yeah, they just released I think it was like 300 cards that Dan DeSantos done for Marvel. It took him like 2 years to paint all of them, and they're just amazing. So yeah, if you get a chance to check it out, he's worth looking at.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to kind of shift the focus to some of the psychopathic artwork that you've been doing for I don't know how long. I'm gonna draw it back to when I first saw your artwork. I want to say it was probably, I think your artwork was at Hot Topic, right?
Right.
Yeah, with the ICP. That was the first time I saw like the hyper realistic Insane Clown Posse Joker cards, and that kind of made me look at things in a completely different light, in a great way. You know what I mean? So how did you go about I'm sure you asked this question millions of times, so go ahead and answer this for the millionth and one time for me, Tom. How did you start going about drawing these hyper realistic Joker cards and getting involved with actually now I believe you helped design Yum Yum, correct?
I was in the process of working with, when Joe and Joy were coming up with the concepts of that, I was able to sort of have a hand in that. And then, of course, Joey did the initial concepts, and then I just sort of refined it, and then did the final, line art, logo artwork for it. And that's the same the way it was with Fred and the other ones. Like Joey, and of course Joey knows, he's really good with the computer these days. He can do digital artwork great, but 10 years ago he was still doing it, by hand.
Yeah.
With a pencil, and then they would have to hand it off to a digital artist who would, refine it and clean it up and make it ready to be a logo and put on jerseys and CD covers and stuff like that. But so yeah, I was able to work with them on that, and hopefully on the next Joker, I'll get a chance to do the same. But as far as your question's concerned, yeah, when I started off, it was literally.
I think my internet's messing up, guys.
You guys still there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, Gunner, can you hear me? Or is he froze up, Lee?
I think so.
Are we off
Yeah,
air?
we lost him. We're still live.
Okay. Well, to the people that are out there, I'll answer Gunner's question. It was
Sorry about that. I froze up, guys.
no big deal.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, I was a graphic designer for Salem Sportswear. And what I worked on was I was over the mascot division, and I had a manager that would give me like the Duke Blue Devils, Alabama Crimson Tide, and I would have to take these logos and I would make realistic mascot illustrations for apparel. And but all of my renditions were extremely sinister looking, and they would send it to CLC or the NFL or whoever, and they would always push back. They would always like reject and say, "Holy shit, this is way too satanic. You got to tone it down. Have your guy tone this down." So I got kind of a reputation they call me a Satan worshiper at Salem, just jokingly, of course, because my stuff was so evil looking. And then, but years later, like 10 years later, it was 2009, and my manager at Salem Sportswear had gotten a job at Live Nation, and ICP was in Hot Topics already, but it was just the mascots. And then she reached out to me because she knew that I would be perfect for something like this, like taking these logos that have been around for 20 years. People have always tried to, visualize what they would look like in their imaginations, and maybe do what I do on these mascots. And I could get as evil as I wanted. The more sinister, the better. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm down for that. So I did the first Joker card collection, and they wanted me to put all 6 Jokers on one shirt. And I was like, no, we need to do one shirt for one Joker, because there's way too much artwork and way too much detail in these. It would take me forever to do one shirt. So let's just do, let me do Carnival of Carnage, and I'll let you guys take a look at it. So I did that. They loved it. They said, go ahead, do the other 5 Jokers. And I did. And they put them up. What they do is Live Nation will put it up there, and then they'll bid to the retailers. So you've got Hot Topics, and you've got Spencer's and other stores that get into a bidding war on these designs that I've created. And Hot Topic won those shirts. So the designs that have the Jokers like coming out of a card frame,
Yeah.
Hot Topics owned that, or they bought the rights to retail that. And then Spencer's was super butthurt about that. And
Yeah,
they
I was
said,
gonna say, so in a different world, in a different universe, Spencer owns the right to those hot topic ICP shirts in a
Yeah.
different universe.
in a different universe, correct?
That is
But
crazy.
but Hot Topics won that, and this was really the game changer because they paid a lot of money for those, and like I said, Spencer's was like, fuck that, we want our own Tom Wood. We want our own Tom Wood line of ICP shirts, and they came and they asked me, and I was like, well, okay, but it's going to be a lot more money, and my name's going to be on the shirts, and they're like, we don't put names on shirts. We don't let any artist put their names on the shirts. I'm like, well, you can't have them then. And they came back a couple hours later and said, okay, you can put your name on the shirt.
Holy shit, dude.
And so anyway, the next line, which was the Dark Carnival collection, I put a lot more time into those because they were paying a lot more money for them. I put my name on the shirts, and they did an entire in-store display. They had this huge cardboard in-store display set up with all the shirts on it, and they had posters of it. They really, they went to the fucking fullest on it, and and Spencer's did real well with that. So after that, they just kept coming back to me and saying, we need another Tom Wood shirt. We need another Tom Wood shirt for years, until probably 2014. But yeah, that's how it started. It was my old manager from Salem Sportswear asked me to do ICP stuff, and then after that bidding war, it was just, that's what I did. And so, I seen my social media followings just start exploding, and it was all Juggalos. So I got to make a lot of friends in that community right off the bat, and they were super supportive of it. So I was always looking forward to doing the next ICP piece. And then in 2014, Bill Dale reached out and asked me to help with Missing Link, do some in-store marketing designs with my style of artwork with Psychopathic, not through Live Nation, but right with Psychopathic itself. And then in 2015, Rob Bruce asked me to work with him and Mr. Happy and design Into the Echo Side, which was 300 plus cards. Took me about 7 months to do all of them, and it was it was tough. That was a long haul. And then as soon as we finished that, they invited me to come to the gathering in 2016 to unveil the games, and I've been to every gathering since.
Dude. So it just seems like just your passion just straight up led you to where you are. Like there was, and that's fucking great, dude. And we're glad to have you in the community, dude.
Oh yeah, it's been the best. You guys, I told Rob when he invited me to the gathering, I'm like, everybody's great. I don't know if they see me, I'm pretty. I don't talk like you guys do. I don't dress like you guys do. They may not, it could be a Tia Tequila kind of situation when I get there. And he's like, oh no, you're nothing like her. You're great. They're going to love you. So when I came in 2016 and met everybody, I'm like, this is the nicest bunch of people I fucking ever met. I mean, it's genuine. Nobody's got these false airs on. Everybody's just themselves. And they was just super welcoming. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. I can hang with these people for the rest of my life. They're just fucking awesome people. So, and with the bad rap, I don't know how you guys got it, but that's
because there's a lot of motherfuckers who give us a bad name within this community, bro. And I'm sure you've seen it. So it's like,
I've seen a few of them, but I mean, the vast majority of you guys are just fucking cool and doing your best.
We appreciate that, dude. We definitely appreciate that. So I'm gonna kind of wrap this up on your end. I do have one last question for you.
Okay.
Here at the Underground Pulse podcast, we are all about mental health and pushing that mental health agenda and making sure everybody's taking care of themselves. If somebody is tuning in right now comes across this video, this part. They're kind of just struggling to get through. What do you have to say to that homie tuning
in? Oh, depends on what they're struggling with, but it's never good just to be by yourself. I mean, the Juggalo community is so supportive. We've all got friends or homies that we can reach out to. Don't sit there in the dark and just let despair, envelop you. You got to, reach out, and don't think that you can do this by yourself. None of us can do this by ourselves. We all have to have friends and someone to talk to and someone to help motivate and support us to get through this. I mean, life is not easy. Anyone that thinks that one of us or any of us has this shit figured out, we don't. Every day is a new day, and we all have our own hardships, and we just have to do what we have to do to get through it, and it's easier with somebody, and if your friends can't do it, then reach out and get some professional help. There's lots of organizations and places out there that's set up just to help answer questions and help you get the support you need to keep your mind right, to get through the day, to get through this life. So
agreed, man. So with that being said, thank you, Tom. Do you want to stay in here quick while we say what's up to Bake next?
Sure.
You got a couple minutes?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, without further ado, up next, Frankie, go ahead and bring in the big homie Bakelo. All right, let's swing him up there. What up, Bake?
Bakelo.
How's it going, y'all?
What up, homie?
Oh yeah, man. I'm doing great, dude. I gotta say, it was real inspiring to hear some backstory on you, Tom. Like, that is incredible, dude. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it seemed like fate had a lot to play in that. As far as people being in the right place at the right time.
Right.
That the fact that she took a job at Live Nation and ICP was just hot at the time, and that was the project she needed to hand out. And
yeah.
It's like 1 in a million, really. So I very easily could not be here right now.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. Well, we're very happy and blessed to have you a part of our culture. That's for sure, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm proud to be part of it.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Well, Mr. Bakelo.
Yeah.
What's up, Mr. On the Job Yet doing an interview for a Juggalo podcast?
Shit, man. Just, trying to keep it moving, dude. If I'm not touring, I'm working some way, shape, or form,
Yeah, I will say, man, just keeping up with you, dude, you are one of the hardest working people in the underground, dude. From touring to just like consistently dropping music and then doing like podcasts. We got what's the name of your podcast with Zitro?
Hip Hop Happy Hour.
Yes. So you guys are you're always doing something. So I have to say, if they haven't heard of you at least, then they haven't been checking out what's going on in the underground.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It's a lot of hard work, but we I don't know, we all really love this scene, and we want to make sure that people stay entertained and they have somewhere to go when they're bored, rather than turn into something illegal or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We want to give them something good to look forward to.
Absolutely. And I actually met you at the Twisted show in Minneapolis.
Yeah, the Green Book tour. Yeah.
Yes. You were doing lighting, and I was like, dude, how do you like get these like tours and like book all this shit? And you're just like, dude, you got to become essential. You know what I mean? You have to be needed by these people in more than just like a hip hop aspect. You know what I mean? Because anybody can be a dope rapper.
Right.
Literally anybody, but you're a dope rapper. And on top of that, like lighting systems. I'm assuming sound and shit like that. So like you're like just kind of a jack of all trade when it comes to the live music side of things.
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, when I was like 16, I'm like, man, I really want to go on tour. And like, everybody's making music. Everyone was making music back then. And now it's even more of an influx of just rappers appearing out of nowhere, So it's like, people can want you all day, but it's like, until you can create a need for yourself, whether it's through making music or, something else, then you kind of have some leverage where you're like, hey man, like, yeah, I'll do this for you, but I need some money and I want to perform, you know? So, you know, it definitely works out, man. I feel like if you make yourself as valuable as possible, you know, you'll definitely find people willing to, you know, pay the price or work with you on something.
Well, and as far as Bakelow's concerned, you know, when you're starting out at 16, you know, even if you put together that great piece of music and then you have to hand it off to somebody that's not doing as well as you want it to be done, whether it's the lighting or the post-production or the mixing and stuff like that, you have to learn to do that yourself. You're too much of a perfectionist to hand it over to somebody that's not as passionate about it as you. And, and so you just learn to do it yourself and get good at it. So you have full control.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, I learned a lot, you know, working with all these different like bigger artists, you know. So in a way, it's like, you know, I got really good at doing, you know, stage production and lighting and stuff to where like, you know, that was no problem. But I was still learning like, you know, music for myself. So being able to see these cats that's been doing it for years, like, you know, way before I was even making music, it taught me a lot. And I mean, still to this day, I'm just trying to soak up as much knowledge as I can. So I mean that. I don't know. It just worked out in such a way that like, I don't know. I just feel blessed every day, man.
That's great, man.
Mr. Big Head Lee.
Hey, what's next for Bakelow?
So
music wise.
Well, I'm working on a project still. It's taken me almost a year. I do plan on releasing it at the end of this year. It's definitely the most amazing thing that I've ever worked on. It's very theatrical. I think I talked to you guys a little bit about this on the last podcast I did with y'all. But the beats sound real like NF style, you know. But I will be at the Gathering performing Friday at 4:45 p.m. on the pirate ship. Very excited about that. So never been on a pirate ship, let alone rapped on one. So all about making first, you know.
I'm gonna be there.
Right.
Oh,
it's good to see you on there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm honored.
I mean, you definitely deserved it. I mean,
absolutely.
Like, for people who've like, as I've said, like from the get, who put in work, like you've been on so many tours this year. Like you're doing your thing, bro. You're doing your thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to go back a little bit. How did you get into making music? I know that's a super blanket question that's probably asked all the time, but like, what was your starts in hip hop? Like putting voice to recording. I know people like write. Some people write a lot before they get to the booth. So what was your first experience hitting the booth?
Well, what led me to that was ironically, like, I want to say like middle school. My teacher convinced us all to write poems for like some kind of like publishing thing, and some of us got published. I ended up getting published. I was actually in a book. My poem got published. Yeah. I still got the book somewhere, so that's super cool. But I was showing my friends at home, and like one of my friends was like, "Yo, you should like start rapping. That's what, you know, rap basically is anyways." And I'm like, "What? Like, no way, you know." But you know, he talked me into it, and you know, we got a hold of a laptop, and the very first thing I ever recorded was I had to play the beat and my vocals like on this computer microphone at the perfect distance away to capture both at the same level, and like, oh man, it was atrocious.
Oh, we've been there, man. It's the trenches, dog. That's the trenches.
Yeah. But then eventually, man, you know, I ended up I'll drop my phone. I moved into recording into my closet, and one of my friends introduced me to this program that I could actually like do levels on, which was Sony Vegas, which is a video program. It's not even for audio, but it worked, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, he taught me like different things. He's like, yeah, try this and try this, you know, taught me what ad libs were and all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, man, you know. And eventually, like over time, it started getting better and better, you know. And he believed in me at the time. He was the only one that believed in me. He's like, I really think you could do something with this, you know. Unfortunately, you know, we were still teenagers. He passed away, but man, I still do this partially for his legacy, man. Like he believed in me, and I'm not gonna let him down. You know, whether he's here or not.
Hey man,
That's my dog for life, man.
Man, dude, like having, man, doing it. I just feel like people who do it for somebody who passed away, just it's like a different kind of motivation than the rest. You know, I lost my mom to suicide when I was younger and shit, so it's like I feel you, bro.
Sorry,
like,
man.
hey, dude, no, it ain't. It losing somebody's losing somebody. You know what I mean? So to have that motivation behind you, you know, it's really there's no other option.
Yeah.
You feel me? But we had somebody in the chat saying, "What's up, Bake?" It's Dad Ager.
Oh, Big Sherm.
Big Sherm.
Oh,
what
damn.
up, Sherm?
Yeah,
so
that's the Jaeger dad.
So I got a question for you, Bake.
Yeah.
What was the moment you knew that this was meant for you? This music shit. You know what I mean? You're dedicating to put your full force effort into it. Can you remember?
I don't know. I don't know if I can really remember the first time, but I feel like every time I record a new song, every time I meet a new fan, every time I hit a stage, like I definitely feel like, man, like this is what I want to do with my life. Like I love it so much. Even though I have to do other stuff now, but I couldn't imagine doing anything other than music for the rest of my life, you know, like yeah, I can't really pinpoint the first time. I've just been on a roll and haven't really stopped, you know.
And how old are you, man, if you don't mind me asking?
I just turned 30 this year.
All right, so yeah, you said you started around middle school, so that's damn near half your life, bro.
Yeah. I started doing shows when I was like 15. I did my first tour when I was 16. I turned 17 in Las Vegas. Yeah, crazy shit, man.
So, what is the end? Not the end goal, but what is your next step and major step other than like a CD release for Bakelo? What do you want to where do you want to see yourself in 5 years?
Alive, dude.
Great answer, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, you know, I feel like we take the time we have here for granted too much, and you know, I've done a lot, but I still feel like I haven't done enough. I don't know, man. I'm just happy to be able to, you know, still be doing it, not just for myself, but for the people that, you know, enjoy it as well. You know, it's a really cool thing that I'm actually able to do something that I love, and yeah, man, I don't know, I'll never take that for granted. But if I could, you know, predict 5 years, man, like I'd really love to be like headlining festivals and, you know, doing really cool stuff. I just officially this year became an international touring artist. So I'd really like to go to other countries as well. So I'm hoping, man, you know, make something happen, figure something out.
Dude, I'm with it, bro. I mean, as long as you keep working the way you're working, bro, I don't see any reason for you not to be there, like at that position, dog. Like,
yeah,
you're super intelligent, obviously.
Oh, thanks.
dude, I mean, you know your way around, bro. Like you work your way around. You know how to present yourself as well. You know, and another thing is I think a big thing is your music isn't shit. It's good. Like you got good music. I think that's a very big piece of the puzzle right there too. So
yeah, no, absolutely, dude. Yeah, and I had to take a step back for a little while. You know, kind of rebrand my music, go from what I thought people wanted to hear in comparison to like what I actually want to do. You know, it's like once I started making music I want to make, I'm like, wow, people like it more. You know.
Yep.
And you hear that, artists out there who are listening right now?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to rebrand yourself, dude.
Yeah.
If you feel like it's not working, I've seen a lot of artists in this scene. You, Danny Dollars, SON, fucking people part of Hatchet Man Project. Like, you just go straight for a rebranding from what they once were and be completely fucking successful.
Right.
You know?
And it doesn't mean like changing your whole image. It doesn't mean changing your name. I mean, you can, but literally just like maybe pick some different beats, you know, try something new. You never know what you fall in love with, you know?
Literally, dude. Literally. All right. So with that being said, do you mind if we play a Bakelo song?
Yeah, sure, dude.
What do you want the people to hear right now? We're gonna have Cash pull it up for the stream.
So it seems like my favorite and everyone else's favorite right now. It's actually featuring Zitro, and it's perfect because he's on here today. Is
Yeah.
Uzumaki.
Wait, Zitro, where's Zitro at? Hold on. Where's he at? Oh, all right, that's all the time you get, Zitro. Hold on, we're gonna hide your ass again.
All right.
sorry. I had to give the people a little. I had to give the people what they want quick. Hold up.
Yeah, give them
no,
what they want.
But so what'd you say the track was? It's with Zitro. What's it called?
It's called Uzumaki.
Uzumaki. All right. I think we got Cash bringing it up right now. I see him in the little taskbar. Hold on, we'll just bring up the taskbar right now.
Yep, right there.
Let's do it. Let's turn it up a little bit, Cash.
Why do you wanna press a gun to my head? Pull the trigger so I am dead. Why do you wanna see me meet my demise? A lifeless stare in my eyes. Yo, I know you don't like me, but I don't care. I know you won't fight me, so why you stare? I know you despise me, so why you here? It's a shame to see why you blaming me. It's such a pain to be the one that hitting deep. When all I ever did was try to make these leaps. Are you jealous? Because I'm doing things that you never do. You can be bigger than me, but you acting like you just a wee little pea. See you acting
Anybody
like
tuning in, go ahead, give a share. Groups, homies, tell them we got Tom Wood and Bakelo coming in right now, and then next we got Mad Max and Zitro.
I'm only getting older, no time for your plea. No.
Against all odds like Naruto. Keeping up with the crowd like Boruto. It's in my blood, it's in my soul. I'm on go.
I get it. You cannot go where I'm going. You have not sown what I sowed in. You have not broke bones or stones that were thrown in to slow up your motion. A grown up, I'm hoping. Wishing for my mission to be driven in division. Committed to collision with decision, I'ma get it. Vision in my imprint, I'm a sick kid. Addicted to spitting and getting commission from ripping these instrumentals all torn from the center since born. I'll be better and more if I weather this storm. Get together my swarm, Uzumaki with form. I am better than ever, I will never be normal. That's just fine with me. In time you'll see I'm a diamond piece, such a rhyming beast. Went from crying to sleep, not a flying to speed. It's different when they driving to see. Meet with the flow, such a beast and I know ain't no leash that can hold back me from the goal that will bleed to the bone. From my dreams to be stone, spent weeks away from home, miss sleep for the road. I am definitely deadly, ripping beats with a tone. No enemies beheading clothes deep with my dome. Ain't no melody as deadly as me in the zone. And definitely rarely disagree, but you don't. No.
Against all odds like Naruto. Keeping up with the crowd like Boruto. It's in my blood, it's in my soul. I'm on go. I'm on go. Against all odds like Naruto. Keeping up with the crowd like Boruto. It's in my blood, it's in my soul. I'm on go.
Yo, and I guess I'ma end it like this. You can hate me if you want to, and you can dislike my music if you want to. But I guarantee you this one thing, you will have no choice but to respect me. And that's real. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm really into the theatrical sound and shit nowadays, man.
Yeah, that sounded awesome, man. And you're right. The quality of just the lyrics, in that song, I think was just really well done. I mean, you could see that.
Thank you.
That you were talking about in the verse really coming into play, putting that song together.
I'm all for it, bro. Like dude, I fucked with you since the moment I met you, bro. Real talk.
Dude, I put that song into this AI thing for it judges you music, and it gave me 100% danceability to that song. So, if AI says it, it must be true.
Hey, man! AI made the new Daddy X song. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. That's crazy.
No, sorry. I've been like doing like super duper research into that shit lately, and it's like
Yeah.
stupid. Okay, so I'm gonna finish it off with this next question, then we're gonna bring Zitro. I think Zitro's next.
Oh yeah.
So if you had one meal before you die, you're on death row. What are you gonna eat, brother?
Kofta shawarma.
Kofta shawarma, huh?
Yep.
Shawarma, isn't that like in the Avengers movie?
It's Indian food.
It's Middle Eastern. It's like Arabic food.
Ah, gotcha.
How about you, Tom?
What was the question again? If I had one food to eat?
Yeah, on death row. This is your final meal.
Oh, I'd have to say, I don't know. And this sounds weird, but barbecue pork steak. I mean, my mom made it for me as a kid, like before the games. She'd like, make us these like this barbecue pork steaks, and they were just so good. And I've just, I don't know if there's some kind of mental connection with those, but they just always bring me back to a really nice place. So
absolutely,
it may not be the most tasty food I've ever eaten, but it's
the comfort food, man.
And if I knew I was fixing to get injected by a bunch of shit, yeah, let's go to a nice place before that.
Fuck it. All right. Well, with that being said, without further ado, we got the next homie sitting in the back. He is my Juggalo Cypher 2022 partner. His name is Zitro. Bring him on the show.
Yeah. What up, though?
What up, Zitro? How you doing, man?
Hey.
Chilling.
Hey,
Zitro,
man,
tell him about the show tonight. I forgot.
Oh, yeah, I was about to. Don't worry, I got you.
I forgot, my bad.
But yeah, me, Big Low, and Histio, the Hip Hop Happy Hour podcast guys, are all opening up the JCW show tonight in Pontiac at the Crowfoot.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah, we got added last minute, and we're very excited to do that shit. So if anybody's watching, that's around that Pontiac area or just the Metro Detroit area, period, pull up. And if you go on Violent J's Instagram and see what he posted about the shows, you might get a little sneak peek into some shit. So yeah, do that.
Dude, I gotta say that I've actually been to the Crowfoot before, and that place is fucking dope, legendary.
Yeah, I love that place. I don't like the parking, but I love that place.
No, the park. What parking? I don't
having
really
to park across the street.
There was not really any parking there. From what
having to pay for parking.
Yeah,
that's bullshit. But it is what it is.
R.A. the Rugged Man 2021. I was out there. So.
Yeah.
Anywho, enough about that. Zitro. So you're performing at the Gathering as well this year.
I am not a solo set, but yeah.
Yes. You're doing the Rocks TV, correct?
I'm doing Rocks TV. I'm doing bars. I'm on Cartoon set. I'm on Big Sherm set. I'm on King Wicked set. I perform every single day of the Gathering.
Yeah, so you're kind of all over it right now. So,
yeah.
My question is, man, does that get tiring at all? Being constantly on the run, doing stuff every single day of Got J, and does it feel like you wear yourself thin ever?
I don't know. I'm about to find out. I've never done it before.
Okay. So I was gonna say, man, I've seen you roaming around a lot prior. Like we did last year, we did main stage, and then we had our own sets during night one.
See, that was separated by a whole day.
Yeah.
Some of these shows I got like a couple hours like right in between.
Oh shit. Okay. So
yeah, I really got to run back and forth. Like I think there's 2 days where I performed twice in the same day.
Oh, Lee, put your mic up. Motherfucker. Anyway, so what's your first? Like, can you give us the days of each performance, just so if anybody's tuning in wanting to see you and whatnot?
Let me look. Okay, so day one would be the Rocks TV set. So that would be the 14th at 6 p.m. And then midnight that night would be the Big Sherm set. And then 3 o'clock a.m. that same night
Oh my
would be
god.
cartoon
Holy shit,
set.
dude.
Friday is the King Wicked set at 3:30 p.m. And then right after that, I have to do Bakelow's set at the pirate ship at 4:40. And then Saturday at 2:40 a.m. would be the bar set on the pirate ship. Yeah.
So Sunday you ain't got nothing going on. You'll be able to relax. So Sunday you'll be able to relax.
Sunday I'm going home out.
Oh shit, man. So let's bring it back, just like the way I've kind of asked both the guys before you. Where did Zitro get his start? How did you come into the rap game, and how did you start knocking down doors? Where did you get your first breakthrough at, man? Cash, kick him from Twitch.
Damn,
Sorry, we got
spammer.
bots. Yeah, we got bots. Yeah.
Anyway, no, I actually started rapping by accident. So there was a kid on the bus. I love telling this story because it's so funny. There was a kid on the bus who was a rapper, and I was like, I think maybe 11 at this time. And he used to always freestyle on the school bus and shit. And one of his freestyles got focused on me, and he kind of briefly dissed me. And I didn't say nothing because I wasn't a rapper. I was just like, whatever. And my friends were like, hey, you should try and write something back. Say something back to him. I'm like, I'm not a rapper. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. They're like, just try. So they all hyped me up to write something back. So I went home. Took me about a week to do it. I wrote what was about, I would say like 8 bars maybe. Went back on the bus a week later, and he was freestyling again. So I spit my verse, and for a second, everybody got quiet, and I thought that everybody hated it. And then they were like, oh, Los, that was dope, da, 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 da. And they all loved it. I was like, hell yeah. And then the kid that I was dissing back, he came up to me after we got out the bus, and he was like, hey, man, he was like, I like that a lot. He was like, I got a home studio, and it's nothing too special, but, you know, I can still record, and I wouldn't be opposed to like doing some music with you. I was like, hey, that'd be kind of cool, but you know, I just kind of did it for fun. He was like, well, let's just work on something and see what happens. So we started working on some shit, and then the high school talent show started coming up, and he was like, we should do something for that. I'm like, all right. So we ended up, you know, submitting our performance, and when I performed it, they liked it, but then we got a rejection right after because my lyrics were too violent. So
Of course,
it wasn't explicit or nothing like that. There was no cussing because I knew better, but it was just too violent. I was talking about like punching people and shit like that. So so that got cut. But after that, you know, I started writing more just for fun. And you know, he heard what I was writing, and he was like, you should keep doing this. Keep doing it. So he helped me kind of set up my home computer so I could record. And you know, it was all up from there. You know, so it was all because this kid just randomly dissed me on the bus that I started rapping.
and it kind of brought a skill out that you had no idea you even fucking really had.
No idea.
So,
Yeah, and this was before I even became a juggalo and everything. I wasn't listening to nothing but like Dr. Dre and Eminem and fucking Will Smith and shit like that, you know?
well, then that brings me to my next question. What kind of brought you into this Juggalo realm, if you will, the Juggalo fandom?
I had
You're from Detroit, right?
Yeah,
You're from that area. Yeah. So
I had a homie. His name was Brandon McLeod. I went to school with him, and he's passed away now. But but he was a juggalo, and me and him used to always hang out after school because he only lived a few blocks away from me. So I always knew that he was wearing like these weird shirts, and I never really questioned it. But then he invited me over to his house one day, and he was like, hey man, have you ever heard of the Insane Clown Posse? I was like, it sounds familiar. Yeah, kinda. He was like, can I show you their music? I'm like, sure. So he puts on the first song he shows me is Mad Professor. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's a little weird, but it's not bad. I was like, I kind of like it. He was like, look up more of their shit. He was like, they're dope. And they're from Michigan. They're from Detroit. I'm like, no shit. So as soon as he said that, I was like, okay. So I did my research. And of course, back in those days, I had like Napster and LimeWire and shit. So I went right on there, started downloading music. And I was like, this is amazing. And then I was like, where can I find their music at? So I used to live right by a Best Buy. So I went to Best Buy. I started collecting all the fucking Joker's cards. Fucking got the backyard wrestling game and shit like that. I was like, this shit is fucking dope. Fucking and then I heard Jay on the Wraith say Thuggalo. And I'm like, ooh. I'm like, I like that word. I'm that word. So yeah, ever since that, I've been claiming Thuggalo like way before I was claiming Juggalo, honestly. But it's Juggalo nonetheless. But yeah, it was about 2004 is when I became down.
So, and then did you feel like I don't want to use the term Juggalo rapper because that's such a shit fucking word to call somebody.
I got you. No, see, because I was a rapper before I was a Juggalo.
Yeah.
So I never really considered myself as a Juggalo rapper. I was just a rapper that was a Juggalo. You know what I'm saying?
You're a rapper who happens to be a Juggalo. That's the way I like to term myself as well. But did you ever find yourself like rapping for like The Gathering or people like finding yourself on main stage or anything like that?
That was always a goal since day one. The first time I actually performed at The Gathering was in 2007, when it was still in Cave and Rock. You know, I performed at the Bomb House there. And from then I was like, okay, the goal is main stage. I never thought it was going to be a realistic goal. I was just like, hey, I'm going to do it. And who knew that, 13 years down the line, it would happen.
Yeah. So yeah, you did main stage in 2019, right?
2021.
2021. Okay. Yes. What was that experience like for you?
It was very surreal. Even being up there, it was like, it wasn't real almost, and plus every time I perform, like, I don't know if it happens with y'all, but with me, I get tunnel vision and I can't see shit.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah. Except for like what I'm looking at. Like I tend to look at like certain people in the crowd because I like to make eye contact with people, so it looks like I'm trying to connect,
Yeah.
But I don't see past that, and I just get in this zone where I'm not worried about nothing else but rapping. That's it, and performing.
Man, couldn't have put it better myself, dude. Tom, do you got anything you want to holler at Zitro about?
Oh no, I've been a fan of Zitro since I think Andy introduced me to Zitro, but I think was it DCG Con that we met for the first time, or
I wasn't there. No,
maybe it was at one of the gatherings, but it's been a long.
Yeah,
I think
it was the gathering,
and like the nicest guy, one of the
Thanks.
nicest guys I could ever meet, and so normal too. I mean, it's like
you wouldn't be able to tell by looking at him.
I put on that angry, scary look, but no, I'm a fucking goofball.
Bake, I know you and Zitro been homies for a minute, right?
Yeah, that's my dog, man. It's crazy. I found out about Zitro before I was even rapping.
how'd you guys go about meeting each other and like coming together? And like, I know you guys like do music and shit. Obviously, we played one of your guys' collabs. How did you guys go about connecting and whatnot?
We met through a mutual friend, Puppet Master, many years ago. And yeah, I don't know. I got a tattoo from the dude Puppet Master, who also made music, and I'm like, hey man, like I make music, and then I don't know, eventually down the road, like we all ended up meeting up.
Yeah. Puppet Master was like, hey, I just met this kid who raps, and he has a lot of potential, and I think you can teach him a few things. I'm like, all right, bet, bring him over. So
he still taught me how to use auto-tune.
I tried. I came over to your house and I was like, hey, this is how you do it a little bit.
I was like, yeah, I got this. I went and tried to do it without you there. I'm like, I don't got this.
So
Lee, pull the mic down. It's your turn for the questions.
Oh, but boys, hey, I got to bounce.
What's your
All right, take care, Tom. It was a pleasure having you.
Have a good one, Tom.
Yeah, I got to take
Hey,
off too.
I got one question for you, Tom. I wanted to ask you before you go.
Okay.
What is in your music rotation right now?
My music rotation right now. You know, I haven't even had a chance to listen to any music in quite some time. It's literally been taking care of the gathering and then taking care of the float. So
just say it's the Super Mario OST, bro. It's all
yeah,
right.
let's go with that. Really, it's been. You should have seen all the people that's put in for like to perform at the float.
Oh yeah,
Listen
I could
to that.
imagine, dude. Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of acts that's trying to get on there. So I've been listening to a lot of that for the past month.
Let me reform this question for you then. You're kicked back on the beach with the margarita in hand. What is playing in the background? Go.
Well, I would say probably Hosier.
Okay.
If you guys listen to him, I mean,
Nope.
it's just that's super. Well, yeah.
Nope.
I'm gonna have to people.
But
I'm gonna have to people.
When I bounce around from, rap to alternative to 80s rock. I listen to a lot of it.
Would you say it was what? What'd you say? Hosier?
Hosier.
All right. I might have to check him out.
Yeah, you check him out if you get a chance.
Anyway, thank you so
dope.
much, Tom. You're the fucking shit. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Be safe.
Whoop.
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 All right, let's bring Zitro back.
I gotta
up
head
to,
out
oh,
here
no,
too.
not,
I gotta get
Get
back
my
to
big
work.
head off
big
there.
head. Oh God, no,
Get it
not
off
Lee's
there.
big face. No,
Get it off there.
Oh, you gotta head out too, Bake.
Yeah, I gotta get back to work.
All right, then I'll ask you the same question before you go, man. What is in your rotation right now?
I've been listening to a lot of Bad Flower.
Bad Flower. Okay.
Yes,
I
very
can't
dope.
say I've heard of them either.
It's like if Lil Peep had a rock band.
Okay, Bad Flowers.
Bad
All right.
Flower.
Bad Flower. All right, bet.
Yeah,
where can we find all your music at, Bake?
Everywhere, man. I've been releasing at least 1 or 2 songs every single month. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, everything.
Sweet.
So I'm keeping the music flowing. People are loving it. So as long as people are listening, I'm recording.
All right, man. Well, shit, dude. Thank you for hopping in during your work break, man. We definitely fucking appreciate you over here. Let's link up at the gathering. Let's I'm planning on like doing like little short interviews and whatnot. Let's all meet up, bro. I'm down.
Oh yeah, sounds good to me, man.
All right, man. You take care, brother.
All right, I'll see y'all.
See you, bro.
Yeah. All right. Let's make sure let's bring Zitro back up here. So Zitro, I was gonna ask you, man, are you cool with us playing the Juggalos Cypher for our break?
Yeah,
a little intermission. Yeah. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna play the Juggalos Cypher. We're gonna have a little I think it's like 6 minutes, 7 minutes long, 7-minute intermission. Yeah, intermission. And then after that, we're gonna bring in the homie Mad Max. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got Frankie, are you on it? Frankie's on it. Frankie's a fucking man, dude. Hey, let's pause this quick. I kind of want to talk about it a little bit with you. So yeah, I've never really got to openly discuss like how this went about with like another person who was like involved. you know. So what was your experience about how was it going through waiting in the line? And keep the video up, Frankie, just so people know kind of what we're talking about. What was it like going through the line and waiting to get to the competition? And like, do you know how you went about spitting your rhymes during that competition?
I was just okay. So when I went up, I noticed as people were going, the beats were changing for each person.
Yeah,
that's what made me nervous because I'm like, oh boy, because
bro, they changed the beat on me, dude.
Yeah, I know.
They changed it on me, dude. It was so fucked.
Oh man, but I was lucky that the beat that I really wanted, I got.
Yeah.
So and if there's footage of me, I think there is posted. When they play the beat, I point at the fucking DJ and I'm like, yes, thank you. But it worked out because the beat that I had matched that tempo, or the verse that I had matched that tempo with a beat. And I thought that we were gonna be using the same beat for the final cipher. No. So then I had to think of something else to put on there. So that made me even more nervous. But I mean, it was cool. It wasn't too different from actually performing.
No,
it's just performing without, you know, your ins and outs and ad libs and shit is very strange. I've never been the one to just rap on instrumentals. Yeah. But it still came out dope. I don't know. It wasn't too much different.
Can I share my story?
Yeah.
So when I got up there, I was waiting in line with Clockwork E, and I think dude's name is Legless. He's like he's some dude in a wheelchair.
I know you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, but dude. Oh man, he was like talking that shit, and I chimed in. I was like, yeah, well, I hope motherfuckers bring the heat because I know a lot of rappers out here think they're the shit, but they're really fucking not. And he's like, who the fuck are you? And I was like, well, I'll show you. And I went up on there and I went up on stage and I fucking stumbled right away, dude. Like I completely fucking stumbled, but I caught myself and I brought it up to the point where like I had the crowd vibing with me. And I think what really sealed the deal at the end was I showed my asshole. That might have been like the real factor. I mooned the crowd and I got everybody to cheer me for that. So that might have been the icing on the cake there. But I think they were pretty impressed with how I recovered. And I was actually like rapping at the crowd and shit. So yeah, dude, it was fucking hell of an experience.
I totally forgot that you did that. I remember that now. And I turned around immediately. I was like, oh.
No, man. Well, I was getting booed, bro. What else was I supposed to do, bro? Fuck, I was nervous.
No, see, and it was crazy because I got a lot of love too. But in my little rating sheet, I don't know who gave it to me, but in the confidence section, somebody gave me a 2. I was like, what?
Oh, all right. Let's bring out Lars. Let's bring out Clownvis. Bring out Chunk. We're going to find it out. No.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, no. I ain't afraid to say I definitely snuck my way onto this cipher, but I felt like that had I had a lot to prove because of that. And I feel like I had to bring my fucking A game with this right here. And man, we've all gotten a lot of love for this shit, bro. You know,
most definitely.
So yeah, without further ado, this is the 2022 Juggalo Cypher featuring NGS, Trey Magic, Tier Diaz, Big Fluff, Gunner B, and Zitro.
Yeah.
I'm MC Lars. Welcome to the gathering, the Juggalos 2022. Juggalo Cypher, make some noise for our winners. Yo, DJ Clay, let's kick it. Here we go. The abyss is right above us. Speak of death, I am becoming. On the coca bearing bitter night, the circles were constructed. And he
I ever made, including power unobstructed. I'm a monster, let's discuss it, not for nothing, I'm a glutton. Love to hunt to kill the cunt and munch until she's nothing. There is something in the woods that wants to eat you, it's disgusting. Wants to rip your blood and rip your blood right out your stomach. Hell is lovely, don't deny it. Underground I shine the brightest sun, my soul can't I supply it. I don't love it 7 times and since the day I'm never looking back. Mirrors overdose with cracks, cut myself to fucking pieces with the glass. Slash myself a crooked mask and guess at what is looking back. Laughing, hackle at it, hack it, chuck up for my final act. Even after that, you see the echoes from the broken glass. My spirit's everlasting if that's something that I ever had, yeah. NCS for life, yo, woo woo. Yo, rebel without a cause, rebel without a pause. Sever your pulse, I'm a devil without claws. Coming out my mouth, it should probably be outlawed. Oh, switch it up southpaw, knock out your jaw. I ain't talking about coke, but I'm bout that raw. Lead the battle without a flaw. I'm outie paw, I ain't too proud of y'all. Don't use it, you lose it, but you can listen and learn. It's like algebra. I ain't Master P, but I'm bout it, bro. Ain't 50, but I'm rowdy, yo. Wild as a cowboy at a rodeo. Talk big shit like I ain't little like Romeo. All the homies know, shout out to Psychopathic. You need a hatchet plus 2 lumberjack axe to hack it like axes. Granted, I leave you slanted on your axis. Yeah. It's TD here at the gathering of dreams. Clown dripping last year, now back up on the scene. Smashing all these whack rappers who be trash up on the beat. But against me, shit, you just asking for the fee. Then I send them walking home, bitch, I'm happy to pimp. Gratitude, and I ain't been lacking shit since. Got up here to the getting, I'm never sentenced. I'm spitting on the independent mission. My pen is never diminished. Went from face painting to stage placing. It's amazing, repping Juggalo in every single state. Name it. You fake claiming your face, can break claiming. Think you gaming? You can catch this 5 like PlayStation. This is the Mr. Montes, the ground that I spit the crime. Yeah, would you think that I skipped the line? Nah, man, I'll show you how I go this far. Going hard. I made it here and on the Joker's card. So before I pass the mic to the fam, let me just remind y'all who I am. T.R. Diaz, sipping firework Fago when you know it's cold. Lo behold, I stay with the hatchet when the load is broke.
Man, so sick. Hey, my boy.
I'm a go-getter, so I finish what I start when I flow. I'm blessed to have this talent, so you know I gotta flex mojo. I kill it when I spit venom. Rap careers, and I'm lucky with my 7 million years. What I'm giving to these industry hoes. Go much deep with my words. Before my sexism, when I split it in thirds. I'm hate fucking the game if you wanna test nuts. Not too many try, you can bring it, take guts to take on this monster. There was so much chocolate. Don't give up is the mantra. If you listen, then I got you in my sauce and jutsu. I'm not the rapper you used to. If you don't know my name, you better look on YouTube.
Yo, Rogue Nation in the house, make some noise, Juggalos. This for my recovering Juggalos. I was on a long ride, falling by the wayside. Feels got waist high, find a way to come by. I was on something that many could see. Fuck all my hunger was losing my teeth. I was not sleeping, I was up for weeks. Calling my homies cause all of them tweak. I was getting drugged up, a homie got stabbed up, a homie got hung up, and then got locked up. Got clean face, no one never ever shot up. But you know me, I was watching it rock up. I changed it, I came from the heart. When I got out, yo, I had to restart. Make my moves, which are playing my part. And I gotta be smart. Gonna diet, I was losing by the pounds. Now I'm with my homies as we get taken over the towns. I was on a long ride, falling by the wayside. Feelings got waist high, find a way to come by. Yeah, one last thing that I gotta say. All my Juggalo homies, we gonna be okay. Put your hands up, Fago in the air, wave them around like you just don't care. For niggas that got this thriller, I feel like I'm so hyphy. And I'm coming down on you niggas, turn up the town on you niggas. I'm ready to clown on you niggas, you're so funny. These motherfuckers might think that I'm playing, hearing me just spitting this shit so quick that they can't understand. Ha, fuck that, we coming with straight jackets and gats, matches and a can of gas to blow up that ass. When I'm up inside the booth, you know
get it loose. Mastering this music shit, so you know that I cannot lose. Record my niggas for free, charge these niggas for cheap. Cause when you're working with me, you get clarity. I'm dominating the hip hop scene. My flow's far from clean, it's dirty. Do you feel me? So I'm coming around one more time. My music is sweeping the D and I'm barely up in my prime. They want me hypey, these juggalos try to be just like me. Sit in my red rag style and swag and try to blame me. Oh hell no, these niggas just gotta go. I'm taking it all the way back to 08 when life was just beautiful. Rapping where I live so all of my niggas feel it mutual. Process of elimination, all the fake niggas had to go. So right now I'm spitting it full throttle like a bottle. I'll make you hollow, tilt your head back and swallow. I'm only speaking what you niggas been thinking. Let it be leaking like the seepage. I'm defeating every enemy. Now I can see what you see, but you will never be me or decrease me, let alone defeat me. Taking it back, throwing it up, breaking that six and then blowing it up. You can all tell that I'm having the fun. You giving up all that I already won. Who when I'm big when I double this nigga, I'm plot for stats and major figures. Nothing can stop me, I gotta be getting the best in the game and I kill them softly. Let's go.
Whoop whoop, y'all. Give it up for our winners. Make some noise. Thank you for checking out the 2022 Juggalo Cypher. We'll see you next year. Much love. Whoop whoop. DJ Clay.
That dude just sitting there like, there was that one guy sitting there at the end looking like he was tripping balls. I don't know if you guys noticed that. He's just looking at the camera like,
yeah.
Anyway, no, man, that was a hell of an experience, bro.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm very humbled. I feel like they use the shit for when I like tell people to put their hands up in the air and they're like waving it. Like I feel like they used that for last year's fucking gathering footage, and I'm just like super humbled about that shit, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm very humbled to be able to like do that, like because got some real fucking heavy hitters on that track, bro. It's fucking NGS, you know, Big Fluff. Trey's pretty new, but dude, he's fire. You know, and then we got Tier, like he's a fucking movie star.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? He's a fucking Mr. Famous over there. And then we got you with so much time and energy in the game, bro. Like it's just, yo, that's a collect. I can't wait. Like I hope there's another one this year.
Me
because too. I'm entering.
I know.
I'm entering.
I would like to, if I can get my shit together to do that, I will.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, with that being said, we do have another guest chilling in the back. He's been super duper patient. He's kind of been laying low key, so I'm very, very, very honored to have him here. We got, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only motherfucking Mad Max up in the building. What's good, Max?
What it do? How do you do? Yeah, not for nothing. I probably, if I had known, I probably would have got some games of Magic the Gathering in. I did not realize I was going to be waiting quite so long.
I'm sorry.
No, hey, well, so fortunately enough for you, I don't actually have anything going on at the present moment, so I'm able to just kind of do it that way. But no, that was pretty cool. I've never actually heard Tom's story specifically of how it came to pass, which it is ironic how so often in the Juggalo world it really does come down to this one completely random connection, and then you just happen to be introduced to ICP, and then for whatever reason it speaks to you in this way. Like I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day. People have a lot to say about Juggalo culture being very drug centric, and to me, while I wouldn't necessarily outright disagree with that, Tier Diaz is a perfect example of how that is not always the case, because Tier Diaz is as straight edge as can be. I know that from personal experience of knowing the man for many, many years, and he feels this shit the way that we feel this shit. Like, there doesn't need to be any kind of fucking chemical gateway there. There is just something about this world that fucking draws you in. And that was interesting. I did not know that with Tom Wood that he basically just ended up contracted to do it and then loved the culture and stayed in it. Because it was, I think that you might have said this, but his fucking renditions of the Joker's cards, definitely, for the fact that they were in Hot Topic, they definitely did help to, and normalize is the wrong word, but to like, it broadened the appeal of ICP, because the flat. This is another thought that I had also, though, because when Tom was saying it, it made me think about it. I don't think that Shaggy 2 Dope gets the credit that he deserves as a visual artist, because he's designed every actual Joker's card, and those are some of the most ubiquitous fucking logos on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like the Wu-Tang W. It's not, the Wu-Tang W is definitely in a higher regard in that case, because it's just, the appeal is broader, but like, that is crazy. The fact that he's just designed all those personally, and these are like in different countries and shit, in, you know, all over the world, all over this country. Like that's how you can signify somebody that fucking, like, you know. Yeah, I don't know. So I actually had a question, Zitro. Were you on horrorcore.com?
A little bit.
Okay, well, just because when you said that you had performed in 2007, you're obviously an OG here. You've been doing this for a long time, so that was roughly that period, and so I used it in the beginning, and then I'm pretty sure I got banned pretty quick, and then just started using other message boards. But it was one of these things where I'm pretty sure Bakelo was again, even if only at a distance. That was really like, did you happen to ever see when Hobson was still in there?
I don't know. I didn't know who Hobson was until like very late. Like once
that,
he
you know,
dropped
that is fair.
Sag My Pants, I heard of him.
You know, the first thing that I ever heard from Hobson, and it's funny because it was actually pretty good, but it was like a throwaway practically, was a like commercial basically for a blood energy drink. It was like a drink in a blood packet. And it was like, he obviously shot the whole thing himself, but it was actually pretty good. And this was at a time where he was fucking selling verses on horrorcore.com for $50. And I just, for it to have gone, like Jelly Roll is another example of that, of like, it doesn't happen often, but people from this orbit do make it all the way up sometimes. It is pretty remarkable.
Well, hello, Mad Max. How are you doing today?
Yeah. Well, hello. How do you do? Oh, I'm sorry. Were we not familiar with how it works with me? I'm sorry.
No.
I apologize.
Man. No. How you doing today, man?
Well, that's a complicated question.
Yeah,
I
loaded
have
one,
been.
I'm assuming.
Well, yeah. Well, so again, I just recorded a bunch of songs that I've been waiting on recording. I got one more to do, and then after that, I find myself freed up in a way where I'm not going to speak on it just yet because I want to actually have produced before I'm just talking about all of what's going on. But I now, for the first time, where again, let me like break this down. I started making music, let's say. I mean, the first time I ever recorded with the homies in South Orange was, I think, 2000 and, you know what? 2001, because it's 9/11. It's funny that I remember it that way. In any case, so, but when I first started making music, 2004, oh hell, I actually smoked some weed. I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that?
You first started making music in 2004. I don't know where you were going
Oh,
with that,
yeah. There we go. Well, so here's the thing. I don't know how much of my story we actually want to do here.
Hey, man, we got time,
I just
bro.
kind of started.
I mean, we're chilling.
I just kind of started rapping because it was, I mean, first of all, realistically, I wanted people to like me. And for some reason, this was a thing that I knew how to do. I did a lot of writing as a kid. And then eventually moved to South Orange, New Jersey, which is right next to Newark. And so close enough to New York City where if you wanted to try to rap at all, then people were basically like, if you weren't good enough, they were literally like, shut the fuck up. Stop talking. You can't rap. I don't want to hear it. And I actually had it to a point where I was pretty good at it. And so I just kind of did it because I would hang with these dudes after school, and basically what we would do was smoke blunts and then watch Rap City, and fucking they would try to call out when they thought somebody made a reference to gang shit. Because, like, put it to you like this, I'm not going to go all the way into it, but the fact that Kendrick Lamar was wearing a red hoodie and he did fucking Not Like Us 5 times, he did that for a reason. And, like, the whole idea was being exposed to that shit. Forks Up, Forks Down was some shit that for many years, because I found ICP in high school through a kid that I met at Hebrew school. But that was just some shit that, like, oh, it was just like whatever, like fucking cuckoo choo. I didn't know what it meant. But then I started hanging with fucking gang members and they start talking about pitchforks and shit. And suddenly I realized, oh, there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. And I started to, like, I can remember a time where I had drawn a fucking lotus cross, the one with the arrows. I drew it on my arm, and one of the dudes that I was hanging with tried to burn me with a torch lighter because he was saying it looked like a pitchfork. And fucking, so, like, knowing that this was like a world that they fucking, and I also didn't even really understand. It's quite frankly a good thing that I was removed from that world because I'm not a gangster. So trying to be a gangster when you are not is fucking not a high success rate. It's not a good thing. And I was very fortunate to have a family that loved me enough to fucking pull me out of the situation. But I basically just rap for whatever reason was something that always, the thoughts in my head seem to wrap well around rhyme. I don't know exactly why, but it seems to happen that way. And I spend all of my time, like ever since I was in high school, when I decided I wanted to rap, constantly in my head, I'm thinking of how can I say whatever thought I'm having, how can I say it rhythmically? And so, like, rapping is just always, like, Bakelov said something like this, and I really do agree. Like, I just performed recently again with TRD as he brought me out in Worcester, and even for such a small crowd that I played at Electric Haze a dozen times, it was definitely better than fucking Dead Celebrities Club, I'll tell you that. But to be able to do that, like, it is what I want to do. It's not like whether or not I'm ever going to make money doing it, or whether or not I'm ever going to, like, succeed in some kind of tangible way with money or whatever. It is the thing that I want to do. And I have made some kind of connection with people where it honestly, at this point, and I feel bad that it took me so long and it has often taken me so long over time to just fucking get to making it happen. But music has become this thing where I'm 19 years old. I rap. How many fucking people in tri-state New Jersey rap at 19 years old? I was nothing special, so to speak. I fucking know people that are doing this very, very primitive version of internet radio, basically what we're doing right now, just without video. And they were playing Hell's Pit for Juggalos that could not get the album, because this was back in the time where if you didn't get the CD, you fucking basically didn't have it. Although there was a leak, but they were playing it, you could buy it and you could rip it onto your computer. And so they were playing it so that people, that weren't able to, it was a cool thing to do. It's something Juggalos have always done. Juggalos took to the internet early. They were one of the first cultures to jump onto the internet like that. But so this happens, and then randomly as fuck, Jay decides to listen. And then here's a song that I made with Low Key, who I had met at the gathering a few months, but not even a few months. Like, I think it probably was that year, where I had that song on Chemical Threats. It was either 3 or 4. Walk of Shame. Like, I was just thinking about it. Like, that's the reality of my life. I looked over and saw the Green Villain headbutt some fucking poor kid so hard in his skull that this kid started to fucking bleed. And then Green Villain Josh grabbed this dude and licks the blood off of his head. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty remarkable. And we end up camped next to these people. And I end up randomly, when I linked up with him, I thought that who I was going to be meeting was Green, because obviously he was the one who made the strongest impression. But I started to talk to Low Key on one of these message boards. Again, Juggalos took to the internet early. And he wanted a fan sign. You remember when you do that? Like you write some shit on a piece of paper and you hold up, take a picture, fan sign. He was trying to promote Temple Rain, because he immediately, as soon as he realized that rap was a thing that he could do, was like pretty much what he wanted to do. And just from working with him, it was just like, oh, fuck it. This is just going to be a thing that we're going to do because we're fucking Juggalos that want to. That's one of the Juggalo shit is very unique in most of the people that get into rap. They do it because they want to have some modicum of success. They want to be recognized in their field. And Juggalos, I don't know if the typical Juggalo rapper, which I don't think is a dirty word, by the way, I don't know if the typical Juggalo rapper actually entertains. Are they that crazy that they believe that they could potentially, quote unquote, get signed or something to that effect? Or, and I believe this is the much more likely thing, do they do it just because they are compelled to do it? Because let me tell you something, bro. I am not at liberty to discuss the extent to which Juggalo shit is deeply ingrained in my life and in my experience of how I relate to everything, the world, my children, my parents. Juggalo shit is not something that I feel like a lot of people worry that Juggalo shit is this punchline, and it's like Juggalos are a punchline because a lot of them absolutely behave that way. But at the same time, this culture, the only reason that I'm here is because I literally try to wrap your brain around this. At 19 years old, you have what is essentially the most famous person on the fucking planet in your mind. Because again, I found ICP at 13 years old. I fully believed in the magic of the carnival in a way where like my young brain developed into it. I, with no ego, that is just the reality of my life. And and then in 2004, you're just randomly making songs. And then at a birthday, basically it's a birthday party and it's also to celebrate Hell's Pit coming out. You get to the hotel, and because you got kicked out of the first one, so you got to go to a different one. And then you walk up and your friend says, Jay wants to sign you. And that sounds like the stupidest fucking thing anybody has ever said. And then you come to find out in like a week or so, not only are they not bullshitting you, within that week or so, you are standing in your backyard having a conversation on the phone with Violent J. And again, you're 19 years old. Your brain isn't even fully developed yet. And you are talking to, again, the most famous person on the planet in your mind. And then this person tells you, I like how you do the thing that I do. So I'm going to spend my money and I'm going to fly you out to Michigan and we're going to see what happens here. And that, I'm not going into that whole fucking story because it's self-serving and unnecessary. But the fact that happened, that's why I'm here. Once all that, like literally, what I'm supposed to have that experience and think, well, I guess maybe I can see where this goes. Like, no, for better or for worse, this is what I do with my life. And frankly, it's better that way because, again, with music, it's gotten to a point now where, again, I say this with no ego whatsoever. I just seen, literally, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Within the last 10 or 15 minutes, I looked at a comment and somebody was pointing out how they found my shit many years ago and that it basically prevented them from committing suicide. I lost track of how many people it was 10 years ago. And at that point, how do you not? I literally can't even explain, because again, to that point, I don't even know if I'm actually going to make it to the gathering. I was offered a position on the pirate ship stage, but I basically had to respond and say, as much as I would like to, I have a situation going on in my life where I'm not even certain I can gather this year. So I wouldn't want to commit to something that I don't know that I can do. And at this point, there was possibly still another Outlaw set. But again, I don't know that I'm actually going to make it, because the short version is that there are forces within my sphere and within my life that are basically telling me, if you were to gather, that you will essentially be punished for it. And again, I'm not at liberty to discuss exactly what that means, but case in point, I met Violent J in 2004. I have never had a follow-up conversation with him, and I do not have any amount of, I'd like for it to happen, but I have no anger or fucking impatience about any of that. Like, because it's not about trying to be right. Like, at the time when I was younger, when it actually happened, it was like, what's going to happen? What's going on? But I should have known that that wasn't going to be how it panned out, because I was not made for that world, especially not at that time. I am not that kind of person. I had to live a lot of life before I learned how to be able to be around those kinds of people. Like, the one thing that I will say, I remember he played Murder Cloak in his Escalade on the way to his house. And I remember that I started talking while it was playing, and I don't remember why, but I know that that's some shit that he didn't like. And I know that that was just one thing in many of, like, the dynamic wasn't there. It didn't make sense. But the fact is, like, this Juggalo shit is real to me. I don't even know exactly why I have this inexplicable fucking tie to it. But, and I mean, it at least has a lot to do with the people that I've met, where, again, maybe I'm biased, but I listened to that fucking cypher, and Tierra Diaz is head and shoulders above everybody else on that stage. And fucking, when you look at the way that he has put himself in a position where he has been on a fucking Joker's card, like that, but again, never behaves as though he is anybody important or above anybody else. And that, to me,
I don't mean to cut you off, just to excel to your point. I had no idea that motherfucker was even on a Joker card until the Cypher thing, and I met him type shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, you don't find out about these things unless if he says something about it or somebody else does.
I feel like he did that cypher because that was his way of solidifying his presence at that gathering, because he shot a video at that gathering for Vomit, or is it, I know the song, I'm hearing it in my head, but I'm fucking getting the fucking name wrong. But he shot a video for that at that gathering, and so he was performing too. Like, I honestly, this is kind of my point, that he has this, like, he's for sure going to be actually famous someday. And it's crazy to me where, again, drugs have nothing to do with his experience whatsoever. And a lot of people would find that hard to believe, because Juggalo call, if you look at the gathering objectively, it's hard to say that this culture is not rife with drug use. Like, there's a lot of that shit going on.
Well, shit, dude, I'm a 7-year recovering meth addict out here. So it's like, I fucking, I see it all the time, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Fucking point being that I would certainly hope that, and it doesn't seem that it has. He still books gigs. He still does a really good job in ingratiating himself with, like, because again, he doesn't have an agent. He just books that shit himself. That's fucking remarkable. And the fact that he is able to do all of that and openly rep as a Juggalo, most people, like, this is kind of my thing. I had to get to a point where I felt like I wasn't corny for doing it, basically. But the whole idea of being a Juggalo rapper, I think the only reason why that's a dirty word is that, unfortunately, most Juggalos are not great rappers. So the idea of it generally does not have this reputation that centers on lyricism. But at the same time, there are plenty of fucking Juggalo rappers that can rap. And again, Bakelo is a perfect example of it. He can fucking rap. Zitro can fucking rap. And we're like, it's, and I'm not saying like we can rap function, like we can actually rap. And so the fact that fucking, it's very interesting the way that this culture exists right now, because again, it's crazy. We haven't had a tour since 2019.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Like, the fact that has not yet, and now the only things that you ever get, like, that's what I'm saying, where I genuinely, the circumstances have to line up so perfectly, but I am so compelled that if it was that the only thing that I could do was drive out Friday night just so that I could get in and see at ICP Saturday night and then have to drive 12 hours back the next day, that is not an immediate no. Like, I would strongly consider doing that. And that's also to see just one set. Like, I do not know exactly what the compulsion is. Like, I really don't know why it is that this thing compels me more than anything else. But the fact, again, like I said, I can't even go into the extent to which being involved with and dedicated to this culture in this world has made my life more difficult, is the short way to say it, but vastly more complicated. But at the same time, there's no other way to it. Like, I waited months to get it done, but then I recorded 4 songs in a day, which that actually might be a record. I don't think that I've ever done that before. And then I just did it. And once I get to a point where I can start actually producing again, I am 20 years in rapping, and I have never one time ever made a project that from bottom to top was all my beats, that they only belong to me, and that they're not leased. Every single project that I have ever done, whatever status I supposedly have as a Juggalo rapper, genuinely, that is through that. I have never been able to, the closest I ever had was Where the Wild Things Are, and again, those were all leased. I am just now, 20 years in, finally at a point where I have a structure around me to actually make the kind of quality shit that I've had in my head, but just haven't been able to make happen because, it's not because I'm mentally ill, but the fact that I'm mentally ill makes it so that I approach things in this very, very strange way. And that's another reason why I'm so protective of Juggalo culture, is that Juggalo culture is absolutely a haven for the mentally ill. And that's why the culture can be a little bit fucking tricky sometimes. So I do get why there is a weird reputation for Juggalos. But again, when you are a community that is rife with social injustice and fucking the only people that I've ever known in my life, aside from when I lived in Jersey City, and I knew people that were living in and some people, but I didn't really know a lot of people when I was living in South Orange that lived in Newark. In any case, the only people that I've ever known that had somebody in their family that was murdered were Juggalos. Like, Juggalos are people that have actually seen the inside of a courtroom, inside of a family courtroom. Like, Juggalos know the fucking judicial process of what it requires to get arrested and have to fucking do community service or have things suspect. Like, not everybody knows that experience. Not everybody has that experience in the world. And Juggalos have this, like, again, we have this reputation of being just reckless fucking idiots, because a lot of us are. But I think that behind that, it comes down to this: what are you supposed to do when your life is so cartoonishly fucked up, like that you've done everything that you can, you've tried to maintain decency as much as you can, and somehow the world just keeps dealing you shit that, again, it's fucking cartoonish. what do? Do you either do you just lament your bad fortune, or do you try to have a fucking laugh about it? And that's always been what Juggalo culture has been to me, like just a community of people that have found a way to just laugh at the fucking horrors of the world. And you guys can fucking interrupt me anytime. Like, I will literally, again, are we not familiar with how I do this? I will never stop talking.
Oh no, bro. Yeah. I'm just letting you vent, dog. Okay, here's the thing. I like, bro, you have been not necessarily gone from social medias for a while, but your presence has been lacking.
Listen, I appreciate that you would say that. I gotta tell you, bro, this is the whole thing where, like, I genuinely, again, I'm not, someday I will be, but I'm not at fucking liberty to actually talk about what I'm dealing with. But the reality is 1,000% that I am dealing with this is the best way to say it. The court hasn't addressed the fact that I'm a juggalo yet. I don't know that that's going to become a thing. All I know is that it is being made part of the proceeding, or at least part of the communication, that I may not do this thing. And the whole idea here is that I wasn't as behind the march when it happened as I probably should have been, because I was very jaded at the time. I was not able to go. And the way that I looked at the dynamic of the split, if you will, I felt differently then than I do now. And because of that, the whole idea is that people really do get affected by things like this, because if you end up in a situation where your social life needs to be investigated, if you're a juggalo, technically speaking, there is something on the books that can be like, no lawyer worth his salt would ever let that pass. But unless, here's the thing, this is again where it can be a little bit tricky. There's not as many of them left. They were more a relic of a bygone era, like the 90s, like 90s juggalos. But genuinely, and it's actually funny because I've heard so many different versions of the word thuggalo has been for I don't remember exactly when, because it may have been Shangri-La. I'm pretty sure that was because 2003. Yeah. That actually makes sense. I only say because, and this person would not necessarily predate anybody, but there was a homie who went by the name Trigger the Schizo, who lived down on Cape Cod, and just a homie. And he might have been GD, actually, I'm not sure, but he was a straight up juggalo, and he was a gangster. And I feel like, and again, Zitro, not for nothing, you living in Detroit, you honestly might see more of this. That was a thing that was really common back in the day, was straight up gangster juggalos. You don't see as much of it anymore. It obviously they're still out there, but I remember going to the 2003 or 4 gathering. And again, remember, I'm in high school, I'm hanging with Bloods back in South Orange. And I walk up to there was a bonfire in front of main stage. Rude Boy was like, he was playing Lil Jon or something. And there was a chick that was stacking. You know what I mean when I say that, right?
Yeah.
And so, fucking no. Listen, I assumed that genuinely, I assumed that you did. That was more, I guess, for the viewers, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which again, to me, stacking is some of the most fascinating shit on the planet, genuinely, and that's what I mean. Gang culture is one of these things where the fact that ICP was involved in this world, where they were essentially able to say, we're not against either of y'all, but we exist in the same world as you. We're around each other. Like, the fact of, again, you really don't see it as much anymore, but there was for sure a lot of straight up gangbanger juggalos. And I have said this on my podcast a few times. I honestly believe that there's a lot of people where I have not ever, there was only one period of time, actually, I lived in Philadelphia. That was a rough fucking neighborhood, but I've never been from a bad place like that. It never lived in one of those kinds of communities, but being around that kind of shit and being around again, being a juggalo is one of the only reasons why I was ever able to, again, living in Philadelphia, that was a wild experience where the whole reason that ICP exists is because Violent J grew up in this. I've never been to Detroit. I'm not happy about that. I wish that hopefully I'm going to make it to Hollow Wicked this year. It feels like it's fucking significant that I need to go at least once. But I do know, just based on historically, growing up in 90s Detroit would be the mind fuck is just ridiculous. And the fact that this many years later, it is this, the fact that they went on Drink Champs, I still need to watch it actually, but I've heard that it's a little bit difficult. So I am going to eventually listen to it, but I haven't been as motivated because I feel like I'm going to be disappointed somehow. But just the fact that it happened at all, the fact that they want to No Jumper at all, and then when they go on there, it's not ever that they're looked at like some fucking punchline. ICP ain't no fucking punchline. They will line up a punch before they are the punchline in a fucking interview. And so just at the 50th anniversary of hip hop, when it's a shame that it didn't just say ICP, but the fact that Violent J's name was up there, that's one of those kinds of things where when I was 13, 14 years old, we were basically I literally had to listen to ICP at my own peril. And not I never got beat up for it, but I definitely got fucked with for being a juggalo. And I don't even know if that's still a thing. I don't think that people get, you'd have to be a real asshole. But if you were going to be the kind of person to do that, you would probably hate on somebody for whatever
it happens all the fucking
thing
time
it would be.
where I live, dog.
But, and so here's an interesting thing though. It's very difficult because depending on the communities, perfect example, Philadelphia, the Bucks County area where a lot of these trailer parks are, there are a lot of juggalos in those communities. And again, this is kind of the thing. It's apparently the same way with burners. If you go to Burning Man, it's called radical inclusion. And it's fucking difficult because if the whole idea is literally everybody is invited, it does not matter. You only cannot be an open abuser or pedophile or racist. You can't be an open piece of shit, but you can be a completely broken, functionless human being. So at that point, the fact that again, this fucking culture exists in a way where, don't you think it's weird that there really aren't that many, the Gathering has never had a genuine celebrity sighting? That's never happened, aside from the people that are booked for it. Don't you feel like there's got to be at least a couple actually famous juggalos? And I'm just spitballing here, but because put it to you like this, don't you think that Post Malone would like to gather?
Yeah.
Shit,
maybe he has. Maybe he has, and we don't know it. Who's saying
that's true? Well,
before he was famous, he could have went to.
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would just sit in the back all the time.
Well, I'm saying before he was famous, before he made it, he might have gathered at some point.
Well, so you know what? That's possible, but I will also say I'm trying to remember the time frame of when White Iverson came out and what the era was.
2014.
Okay. Oh, well, so that was already way. You want to know what? Quite frankly, that is a solid argument. I will give you that. It is definitely possible that Post Malone, and again, excuse me, I was saying this earlier in a different context. The fact that fucking Jelly Roll was for a long time at the exact same level as every rapper that's on this call or has been on this call. Yes. Jelly Roll was a juggalo rapper for sure. Whether or not he was doing juggalo shit, trying to rep the hatchet, he wasn't doing that. But was he servicing the juggalo community, and was he helped in a way the same way the Tech Nine was, where juggalos, they're fierce. If you are like, hey, I fuck with you, Juggalos are like, I will support you until I die. And the whole idea is that all that you have to do, even if, as long as the joke that you make at us is not mean-spirited and it's funny, then we're on board. Like, again, the Workaholics episode or the Squidbillies episode, those are people that recognize, that have been around the culture, that have actually seen it. Like, I think that, but at the same time, Juggalos will, not all of them, I suppose, but a large amount of them will support things that all you have to do is acknowledge us. That was always a thing where anytime in pop culture somebody acknowledged the fact that Juggalos existed,
Oh, that was the biggest shit, bro.
Juggalos would always flock to buy it, which again, I'm absolutely, and guilty is the wrong word because I think it's a dope fucking thing. The whole idea, like, I was listening, and we didn't end up doing the episode, but I listened to Smothered, Covered, and Chunk the other day, which Death Pop is officially my favorite Joker's card, first and second deck. It took a long time to get there, and I get, even just listening to the cover album is what helps tip the scales, basically, but ICP is not going to be fully appreciated until enough time has passed that their music gets genuinely analyzed and people
don't you think we're
recognize
getting there, bro? Don't you think we're pretty much there?
Here's the thing. I think that there is recognition of the culture, because this culture is way too fucking, like, I keep using the word remarkable, but this culture is way too, Juggalo shit is something that is unique to planet Earth. There are things that are similar to Juggalo shit in different other countries and cultures, but genuinely Juggalo shit is something that is unique to the entire planet. And I absolutely do believe that, again, ICP is this kind of thing where it's rap and it's rock, but nobody that listens to ICP just likes one or the other. Even if they only they listen to everything is gangster rap, there's still one metal band, or because for whatever reason, somebody in their life introduced them to that album. And that was what fucking Drake was talking about, how the fucking dude had Pantera and ICP albums. So just the fact that being aware of it, and every Juggalo that I've ever met has pretty diverse musical taste. And if not, it's because all they listen to is Juggalo shit, which correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm not, this isn't a rhetorical question. I'm looking for the answer here. Do you think that there is still, because granted, you technically have to go over to the bad side to experience it, but do you think that there are still a lot of family era Juggalos out there that basically just, they would come out, but they know that it's not the way that it was, and so they just, do you think that there is, or am I just overestimating it because my experience has been acute and everybody that I know is a Juggalo, so it's hard for me to be objective?
I don't really get, are you saying like family era Juggalos, like they don't really come out and rep that shit anymore because they're embarrassed?
No, the people that only listened to psychopathic music. Like that was I believe that this is part of being a Juggalo, have had very eccentric, diverse musical tastes. But at the same time, during the family era, this was a very common thing to find people that Juggalo shit was the only thing that they listened to. What I'm saying is, do you think that there is still as like a lot of that, or do you think that has
no?
Fair enough.
I think there's a lot of people who strictly listen to underground, but I don't feel like ICP puts out enough material these days to have it where you just strictly listen to that wicked shit. Ouija Mac might be carrying that mantle. Now, if you say Ouija Mac, there might be people out there who strictly listen to Chapter 17 and shit like that, you know?
Well, no, okay, so there's definitely people that do that. I will actually say, I met this kid at Lethal Weekend, I think it was last year, and he was coming up from, I think, Florida. I wish I could remember. But this is what I'm saying about Juggalo shit and about how fucking real this shit is. There was a Purple Hatchet man in my house I would have to talk to my mother to get the actual breakdown of how long we had this thing. I don't know where I got it. I had that thing. It could have been 10 years. I genuinely could have been 15. I don't know. I had that thing forever. And then for whatever reason, I decided to bring it with me to that show, Lethal Weekend in New Hampshire at Jewel Music Venue, which is apparently going to be closing down soon. But so I get there, and I get there early because I had nothing else going on, and I had planned on hanging out with Lucy that day, so why not just go early? And so I get there, and this kid's just hanging out. And I always talk to whatever juggalos are hanging out, and he basically, I gave him the thing because I was gonna rolled a blunt, and he even told me that he was sick, but I still went to hand it to him, and he was like, "Oh, hey, I'm actually sick, but thank you, bro. I appreciate it." And I was like, "That's super cool," because I got COVID not that long ago. That would have sucked. Hey, you want to know what? Do you have this? And bro, if I could explain to you the visceral emotional reaction that this kid had to being handed a Purple Hatchet Man sticker. Again, the middle, the carnival meant for him to have it for whatever reason. I don't know where the fuck I got that sticker, but I had it for maybe 10 years. And I had no particular reason to bring it that day. I'm a fucking chaos magician. I don't know how none of this works. But again, if I could explain to you the expression on this kid's face, this kid literally told me that he would, if it was asked of him, he would let Chapter 17 run a train on his girl. He said those words specifically. And my response to that was just, I'm so glad that there's not a woman in my life where I would feel like, or at least there wasn't at the time, where I would never want to feel like, hey, would you like just that statement alone, I know that people take Chapter 17 as seriously as anybody ever took Twisted Blaze, Lotus, Riders. That's a fact. And the whole thing is, a lot of the people that has happened with are OGs, and like OGs that I respect. My whole thing is, I'll say, I try to listen to Ouija's music, and it doesn't ever really speak to me. But the fact of the matter is, I know that it does speak to a lot of other people. And same thing with Darby. Like, the whole thing is that they got the same platform that, let's say, like Hoodoo got. But
yeah,
Hoodoo, whether or not it's because he's active or not, I don't think that now Del Double is a fantastic fucking rapper. He is a good artist. But Big Hutch, perfect example. Big Hutch, Juggalos did not do right by Big Hutch. I do not think that the proper emphasis was placed on, and I'm guilty of this even, but I don't think that proper emphasis was placed on what was happening when they signed Big Hutch to Psychopathic, of like, this is what I'm saying. ICP has always been so respectful of the culture that bore them. Like, they always wanted to work with the people that they liked. It was never about trying to fit into something. And that's, again, I don't know how none of this works. I don't understand why it works this
I don't
way.
mean to cut you off.
Why I'm so compelled.
I don't mean to cut you off, but Lee said he's got to get back to work.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's on the job right now,
sir.
Lee.
All right.
All right, Lee, do you have a question
Fair
for
enough.
Maxxx? Quick.
Again,
I know
like
you
I
haven't.
Hey, please, by all means. Again, like I said, I feel like I have to tell people at the beginning, just interrupt.
No, we're letting you go, man.
No,
Go ahead.
you're good. Yeah,
I'm
for
sure Lee has a question for you, though. So,
Please,
what's
go right ahead.
favorite? What's your favorite and least favorite part of being an artist?
My favorite part of an artist is being an artist. My least favorite part of being an artist is being an actual artist. Like, this shit is not, it is not fun. It is fun, but it is so difficult to get yourself to a point where, especially when it's rap, if your art is rap or just, really rap, because to me, the feeling of writing a good 16 is just, nothing feels better. And especially delivering a good 16. It just, not even necessarily for getting the pop. You know what I'm saying? Getting the crowd to respond. that's great. But the idea of it's like delivering a good verse is the same as like a gymnast doing their routine. Some people just do it better than others. And when you do it at a higher level and just the feeling of nailing a fucking verse is, again, it's inexplicable. And it's such a funny thing where we, especially because the Juggalo world is its own thing, but we live in this culture now where you would actually think the Juggalo shit would fit right in to today's culture, which I think kind of is expressed upon by the fact that there are Gen Z kids that get down on Juggalo shit, but and like earnestly. I don't mean that they just happen to listen to it, but like they really feel it. But it's this thing that just, like I said, I'm not even bitter about the fact that 20 years later I haven't had a follow-up conversation with Jay. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I have tried to reach out to him on the internet a couple of different times, and whether or not he ever read it, I don't know. And at the Three-Headed Monster show, him and Isham were walking down the street, headed back to the bus, and we made eye contact, but I did not have facial hair when he met me. So, and even if not, it's been 20 years. And I was just, he has food. I don't want to stop this man on the way. Like, he's literally trying to go and sit down and eat. I'm not trying to have this conversation with him. So just let him go. And that show actually ended up being a whole thing where I ended up having to leave because there was somebody there where basically it was, I'm either going to beat you or, yeah, sure. I'm either going to beat your face in or I'm going to leave here. And if I beat your face in, I can go to jail, and I have too much riding on that, so I can't do that. So I'm going to leave. And at that point, I don't have any bitterness of feeling like, oh, I feel like I deserve to be recognized. And so, like, you don't understand what I'm saying? Like, this culture is real enough to me where that whether anybody fucking likes it or not, I'm a Juggalo. Like, that is just how this shit broke down. Like, I honestly believe Juggalos have existed for thousands of years. We just were not called Juggalos for most of the time. But we are a very specific.
I'm gonna pop in here quick. Zitro.
Yeah.
I do want to ask your opinion on some of this. Some of the points that Maxxx has been hitting on. I mean, it's a lot to take in.
But I know I'm so focused on what he's talking about. I'm like, holy fuck.
I mean, I'm catching game here. Like, so what I'm doing here is I'm catching game. But what I'm curious is to see is what you've caught from it so far as well. Like, how do you have any statements to make on this?
I mean,
I'm gonna jump out of here, guys.
All right, peace out,
everything. Peace out, dog. I gotta hurry this up too because I gotta start getting ready for the JCW shit.
Oh, you're good, man. That's kind of why I wanted to bring you on here.
Well, and by the way, I also want to let you know on some real shit, bro. Because again, as I had said before, I would assume that it came through in the way that I said it, I hold TR Diaz in a very high regard, and I want to make sure that you understand the idea of what bars is. I don't think that most people are approaching that with the level of reverence that they should be, because the three of y'all are not just three Juggalo rappers that happen to be good. Like, or is it four? I'm very sorry. Am I fucking this up? Because I know it's at least you, Tier, and V Sinister.
There's four, and you're talking about Clifton Durrell, too.
Okay, why is that completely goes? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on that for some reason. And I'm sorry. This is my point: is that you guys are the highest echelon of having worked with the fucking. They worked with Psychopathic and had, again, like, years in this shit.
Yeah.
Like, V Sinister has been doing this shit for since the 90s, actually, I think. And I have so much respect for this shit where it, like, for you guys, where, again, that this is just what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that you guys are. I look forward to. Is the project actually out? Could I actually? Because I have no ability to focus on anything.
It's
But
out. It's streaming, and we
is
have
it already out?
physicals.
All right, good. No, I definitely need to listen to that. Well, because
It's just
again,
4 tracks.
but you want to know what? My whole thing is that Lauryn Hill only put one album out in 30 years. If it's good, then that is going to, and this is kind of my point. Tier Diaz, just in my experience with him, will only work with people that operate at a certain level. It's one of the reasons why we haven't worked together more. I'm very erratic. I'm hard to fucking wrangle down. And he is fucking professional to the nines. But to that end, we do work together because, again, creatively, the spark exists. You know, I don't know if you know about Hightown Records, but again, the fact that you guys work together, and again, with the fact that V Sinister is part of that project, I would only hope that the crowd gives that performance the respect that it deserves. And I'm sad that I'm probably not going to be around to be able to see it.
Hey, it's all good. We'll see what happens. Hopefully you can make it.
Well, again, the circumstances would need to align in, again, this is where the weird thing about just either my insane life or the practice of chaos magic, which basically just means do whatever the fuck feels right and hope that it works out. But it would have to be the circumstances would have to align in a genuinely cartoonish way. And that's the funny thing about being a juggalo, is that does happen.
Right. I was about to say that does happen a lot.
Yeah.
No, it really.
The gathering provides, homie.
Listen, not for nothing. I genuinely, last year when I went to the gathering, I remember having this thought of the gathering has become this thing, like this organism practically, where you are genuinely, I don't think that you're ever unsafe at the gathering. Crazy shit can happen and you have to keep your wits about you. But I genuinely, it's just this place where the gathering will give you what you want if you let the gathering give it to you the way that the carnival wants it to happen. Because again, I genuinely, the idea of saying the carnival is God to me is so much the idea of just chaos where there's no way to predetermine what's going to happen. But at the same time, everything clearly happens for a reason. That kid, I wish I could explain to you. And again, you're Juggalo, so I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. The fact that, because purple was his color, he was wearing purple Chapter 17 gear. And fucking, this dude was like down for the cause. And the fact that I gave him this thing was just, because to me, I didn't even think that much about it. If I really cared that much about it, I would have put that sticker on something. I put stickers on shit all the time, but it just never did. And then for some reason, like that was something where this dude was going to have to bring his grandfather down to Florida because there was some problem of, I think he was getting kicked out of the nursing home he was in or whatever was going on. It was like some really unfortunate, difficult shit. And he had been listening to a lot of Ouija in Chapter 17 at the time. And one of the things that I was telling him, I was saying this to some other kids at the end of the show, is that the reason why things happen where, talking about like, if things would happen where I would have a turn, like I would take a turn on this back road and like the album would basically like predict it. Like that he was seeing echoes of his life in the music and seeing echoes of the music in his life. And I was what I was telling him is that it is because it's significant to you and because it is significant generally. But the reason you experience it that way is because you are part of it. Like Juggalo culture is one of very, very few things in the world where there's not that many, and there are plenty out there, but there's not that many Insane Clown Posse fans, because the idea of being a Juggalo in a lot of cases is being involved in the culture, not just the music. And Insane Clown Posse does make amazing music. That's what I'm saying. I think that they're not going to get their flowers until, and when I say flowers, I mean by like the actual establishment of music, which they don't even recognize, like at Berklee College of Music, they don't teach hip hop. They teach some hip hop classes, but you cannot go as a rapper, like as a lyricist. And so that means that institution does not recognize rap as a legitimate art form. So they're starting to move in that direction where, like Lupe Fiasco is teaching over at MIT or Harvard or wherever it is. But that is one of these things where I would like to see that happen someday, for something like that to happen. But Juggalo culture is this weird thing that exists between rock and rap, and it transcends culture, it transcends gender, it transcends time. And that's why I say the fact that Tom Wood just happened to get a job, found this culture, and was like, this is awesome, I want to stick around for this. And then his work ends up influencing the entire culture. It's because we all influence in our own ways the culture itself, because we are part of the culture. And so we are the culture, essentially. That was what Jay said in A Family Underground. Like, this is, without Juggalos, we would be lame. What the fuck? Like, the whole idea is that and it's weird because all my friends are Juggalos, but it's not because I want all my friends to be Juggalos. They just are. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it just happened that way.
Well, Zitro, hold on 1 second. I do want to make sure we can get Zitro out of here. That's why I'm interrupting you, Max. I do want to get Zitro in here. Quick,
no, please. I'm fucking terrible. Holy shit.
Dude, don't trip, bro. You're good. Do you have anything you want to speak on for this or what?
Man, Max done said everything. God
yeah,
damn.
For real.
He said it better than I could, honestly. But yeah, no, I totally feel him on every aspect that he said. I really don't have anything else to add. I was like, holy shit, he just nailed everything.
Well, see, you know what I like the most is like we're all artists here, and like we're all trying to like do the same exact thing at the end of the fucking day, bro. We're all trying to fucking make a living off something.
Okay, so
love,
are you gonna keep rapping or not?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm done doing shows.
Okay, well, so all right, no, you go the low key route. I get it.
I have to do actual music. I gotta get like neck surgery and shit.
And let me ask you. Okay, so fair enough. No, that's legit. And again, because I only ask, like, you obviously enjoy performing. You know how much fun it is. I'm surprised that you know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to, man. My body's giving out at such a young age. It's gotta be something's gotta be done about it, bro. You know, and the longer I wait, the less likely surgery is gonna fucking work. So I mean,
no, listen, that is super fair. I genuinely, that's why I am not anywhere near as physically active as I should be, and I'm trying to be better about that because I'm almost fucking 40. Like, and that's another thing. I actually realized the 40-year-old rapper has been done. Like, I looked that up. I thought I was clever. I thought of that.
That ain't new, bro.
People have done it already, but
that ain't new,
40-year-old Juggalo. The 40-year-old Juggalo. That's gonna happen. The 40-year-old Juggalo is going to happen, and because that to me, sorry,
Zitro, I need you to plug your shit quick, brother.
Shit, you can find all my music everywhere, all streaming platforms. Just type in Zitro or The Real Zitro. If you go to my page on Facebook or anything, I got my link tree with everything. My music videos are all on there. You know, just hit me up if you guys need merch. You can message me directly. I'll send you guys merch because I'm still in the middle of building a merch store because I'm not good at that. So yeah, you can just hit me up directly for all that. My newest video, Tap Me Up, is on YouTube. That shit's fire.
Yes, sir.
And again, if you guys are in the Michigan area near Pontiac, come out to JCW tonight.
That's tonight.
We're opening.
Yeah,
it's in a couple hours.
I wish shit like that happened around here. I would be so fucking stoked to go to that shit,
bro. All the time, man. Type of shit like that happens all the time out there, bro.
This is one of my newest shirts too, with cartoon. The Yo Jump Wear My Email shirt.
Hey,
y'all gotta cop that shit.
No, that's actually a funny thing where somebody had told me, because I know some of the people that are I believe part of Shangside, and so they had mentioned, because last year I was supposed to do the pirate ship, and then literally, I think this is the funniest fucking thing in the world, is that they were just about ready to let me perform, and then they got rained out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The idea that a pirate ship stage got canceled by water is fucking that is
Yeah.
objectively hilarious. And again, pie in your fucking face is what did shit like that. A fucking bald eagle landed on Big Silva when it went up on a fucking crane. Shit
dude.
happens in
Yeah.
our world that you simply cannot explain.
Yeah, it's just it's magic, dude. It's fucking magic.
You want to know what? It's magic if you let it be. But again, it can also, like, literally, and we don't have to, go super deep into it. I just, again, literally, it's hard for me to explain exactly what this means, but the extent to which being a juggalo has affected my real life is just, it is difficult to approach the culture casually. So that's why you see me thrown the fuck up about it. Like, I got grays in my beard and my hair because.
Hey, that's just salt and pepper, bro. Chill, dog. You good?
No. Listen, ladies love it. I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying the stress of I care more about this culture than maybe I should. I care more about this culture than a lot of other people do. And I care a lot about this culture in a way where I don't expect anything from it. I am so fucking lucky to just be here at all and have been able to see, like, being a juggalo is the only reason why I haven't killed myself with the situation that I've been dealing with, because it has given me this ability to look at the world and, like, yeah, just laugh at it. Laugh, weep, and then stand back up, because that's all you got. And it's also the he was saying this earlier, the community of all of my best friends are juggalos, and they are people that I would trust with my fucking life. So yeah, again, literally, I really cannot emphasize this any stronger. I will never stop talking. So you have to tell me how long.
Well,
the show is supposed to be.
here's the problem. I will fucking let you talk forever, dog. Like, literally.
You want to know what?
You need a
Fair
podcast,
enough.
my guy.
Yeah. Well, you do podcasts, don't you, Max?
Funny story. I do. Derek, the Reverend Television, he has been very busy with essentially, he's making his dreams come true in being in the world of being a screenwriter and making movies. He's also at the gathering. You will see people handing out Uncle Ernie stickers and patches. It's okay to pass away. You would, if you were paying any attention to the podcast for some months ago. We were plugging it usually at the end, but he was making this movie, and now it has morphed into a different situation. And this is a dude who, if you think that I approach juggalo shit in a like intellectual way, it comes from interacting with people like him. And it's this culture is a thing that I believe that there exists within juggalo culture as compelling a story, if not more compelling, than any other cultural anything that exists along religions and
never been anything like it, dude. Ever.
Absolutely. And because again, it straddles the line between religion and just tribalism. Like the idea of being a sports fan is being a sports fan. Most people don't. Well, I guess maybe people do actually bring God into sports. Well, it just emphasizes my point.
Well, hey, quick thing. I want to bring in our producer here, Frankie. Frankie, you cool with me bringing you on?
If there has been another person that should have come in that didn't come in because I wouldn't shut the fuck up.
No. He never comes on screen. I'm actually doing this up the cuff right now.
Okay, so that's good then.
Yeah, he had no idea I was gonna do this, bro. What up, Frankie?
What up?
Yeah, what up, dude? All right, so let's bring you in here, man. You've been a good little producer in the back, dude. Do you have any questions for Mad Max? I know you've been soaking in all the knowledge and whatnot.
Man, I'm kind of with Zitro on this, man. He kind of he pretty much covered everything, dog. Like I don't know.
It's nebulous fucking thought process. You want to know what? I think the most important thing is always that just having a positive experience of the culture. I think that a lot of people
see your face and not your forehead. There you go.
Oh, is that? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. I didn't.
Hey, by the way, you got to give us the name of the kitty. What's the cat with the
that's
ass
Ron.
in your face?
Oh no, that's Ron. It used to be of Reggie and Ronnie, the Cray brothers, British gangsters. Who Reggie unfortunately passed away. Ronnie has been here for many years after, and he is my buddy. He was my recording buddy. He was hanging with me yesterday while I was recording. Where that's a thing where I just, man, if I can actually get myself into a workflow where I have these things going on this way, again, I don't try to toot my own horn unless I'm actually on the mic, but like,
I'm just like, motherfucker.
I'm just saying, like I said, at a certain point where when you know that you can do this shit in a way that I do, I have been so fucking, I really can't stress enough how much I had to like push myself just to record songs that I've had written for weeks, if not months. But now that I've gotten myself past that point, I could write a song and record it in the same day. So that's why somebody asked me earlier, my least favorite and favorite part of being an artist is being an artist, because I don't fucking know how. There's a saying, and I don't even know who says it. Art is a conversation between God and the artist with as little input from the artist as possible. And whether or not you want to call it God, it's the fucking essence. It's whatever is in the universe. And that's what keeps pulling me towards being a juggalo. And so I have suffered in my life, but not because I'm a juggalo. Being a juggalo has been ancillary to the fact that I've suffered in my life. And I think that this culture just is a thing that, again, I could talk about it for the rest of my life, because it confounds me that my grandfather had to survive the Holocaust for me to become a juggalo. I met the kid that introduced me to ICP in Hebrew school. Like, that's the level that I have to fucking grapple with this, or the way that I do anyway. Like, I couldn't imagine my life being any other way.
I do gotta say, Zitro, we had somebody ask in the chat, and we'll probably get you going here, because
I was about to answer that and then say I had
to
go.
Yeah. So what time you going tonight, Zitro?
7:10. So because the doors open at 6:30. I'll be there at like 5:30.
Do you ever like live stream your performances ever?
No.
No. Oh. You should, man. People love that shit,
so
bro.
hard. People always ask me to, and then I just don't.
That's a must. That's a must for me, dude. Every time I hit that stage, I'm always going live.
Yeah, I don't really know where I would put my phone at so I can get a good angle, and then if I let somebody hold it, I'm always afraid they're gonna fucking break my phone. So yeah,
just gotta roll with the punches, dog. Fuck it. But anyway, Zitro, hey, we appreciate you giving us your time, man. Your hours.
Thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all.
Thank you, dog. Thank you.
Yeah,
let's get you on here.
Thank you for tolerating my interminable rambling. Again, I just want to let you know. Again, I really do fuck with you as an artist. You've been out here for a long time and putting in real work in the culture, and I fuck with that.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. Same to you, bro. Much love, y'all.
Thank you very much.
Take care, brother. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. All right, Mr. Maxx.
There we go.
Now,
man,
got Frankie's big ass.
I was gonna say I don't have too much more time, but you want to know what? Do you actually have any questions for me specifically?
Honestly, dude, not really, because you kind of covered the whole. Because I wanted to cover where you've been, what's been going on, your aspects of the Juggalo community currently, and things like that. Because I think your word and what you see and how you approach things within the culture, it's very needed, bro. And it's
you want to know what? I got to tell you, it's a funny thing where I've seen it happen in a way where, and it's always been this way. There's been different versions of it, but there's always been gatekeeping, there's always been elitism, and there's always been cliquey shit. Club chaos was a thing for a long time, and I was never part of that. They let me play one time in 2006, the last night, and they didn't even let me hang out behind there other than when I was performing. And this was, you know what I'm saying? Club Chaos was like the unofficial, official, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that there's always been some contingent of people that are using it at some kind of ironic distance, or they consider themselves to be like superior juggalos. There was a lot of that shit going on back in the day. And I don't think there's as much of it now, but it definitely does still exist of like juggalos that look at, like, I don't judge any juggalo. I don't care if you're like the sun-dried, baked in, as fuck, crazy, like whooping at me from fucking half a mile away. I don't judge people like that.
Just my favorite one. My favorite one is
I will whoop fucking anybody, first of all.
Broken
and
whooper.
frankly, I think that you're corny if you won't whoop back. Because
100%, bro. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, literally, like, why would you be fucking coy about this? It's like the whole idea is that we identify each other. But one way or another, I think that there has always been this extent of, because the whole, if you're broke, just say that. There were juggalos like that back in the day. I can remember a dude back in fucking 2004 that had a fucking diamond shipped hatchet man. Like that's been a thing for a long time. Juggalos with money have been around, but the whole thing is that this is why I was saying that the whole chapter 17 has connected with juggalos in a way where that is absolutely a part of juggalo culture, whether anybody likes it or not. Because I see people trying to like hate on Ouija, basically. Again, I don't happen to be a fan of his shit, but I don't think that he's bad. And you cannot deny the impact that he's had on juggalo culture, because it's not just new kids. It's not just new kids and fucking Gen Z kids that are getting down with Ouija. I got a lot of OG homies that swear by fucking Ouija. So at that point, I'm not gonna I'm gonna tell my fucking OGs that they're wrong. That's the way that it fucking happened. So the idea that, and here's the thing, I've said this before, I will maintain this, I will say it Darby O'Trill is the superior rapper of the two of them. Period. I think that Darby and Hex are kind of tied, but they do rap in very different ways, so it's hard to compare them exactly. But Darby O'Trill is like a good rapper, and the whole thing is that what they're doing now was a thing that I think Darby O'Trill, first of all, has been around forever. I don't know if everybody a lot of people recognize that.
Doing it, like
he's been even before LSP.
Around. Yes,
even before LSP, he's been around for fucking ever. And the whole thing is that he has created this aesthetic and this way of being where that, I think, is one of the reasons why chapter 17 is actually hitting, is because it has this, like, there is deeper artistic merit to it. It's not just, oh, we're doing different caricatures of this and that. Like, there is a little bit more of an artistic process to it.
The lore.
Exactly. Well, and this is what I mean, is that I think that's the reason why it works that way. And it's also, it's funny because I don't see that ever going away, whereas Twisted going away in the way that they did, like, this is what I was saying earlier, I don't feel the same way about Twisted that I used to. I used to be much more on Twisted's side, so to speak, and the more the time has gone by and the more that I've recognized, like, the deeper that I get involved in the culture and the more that I feel strongly about the culture, the more that because again, I didn't march, but I'm not fucking Twisted. So I wasn't able to make it. And at the time, I didn't really care. Looking back, I wish I had been there. But Twisted, whatever the fucking situation was, the idea that they were not able to just suck it up for that one day is, I think it was one of these kinds of situations where if you were like in a fucked up marriage and there were kids and then you miss graduation, sometimes if you miss graduation, your kid doesn't want to talk to you anymore because they feel like you let them down. And so the fact
you're not wrong.
Because it happened in a way where, again, I used to side much more with them because I felt like if you are going to tell me you would never fucking exist without me, I will literally tell you fuck you on principle alone. So I do understand that if that was what was being said to them, I get feeling that way. But at the same time, for what this culture actually is, and for the fact that they do still try to exist within it and service that culture, the idea that it didn't dawn on them at that time that this was one of these moments where you only get one shot at this. And the fact that now it happened in a way where, again, I really think back to the gathering crowds of like 2003, 2004. And again, Ouija has crowds this size. And although, because the culture was in the midst of like actual music industry money, the crowd may have been a little bit bigger, generally speaking. But again, nobody would ever believe, unless you were a part of it, that Twisted had the following that it did have when you look at the following they have now. It's not like they have a totally shit following. I'm not saying that. But the idea that
shows,
they were
bro.
well, no, because you want to know what? We talk about this on the Carnival grounds sometimes. If you have been around in this culture for long enough and you are honest and you are not like in a cult and you're willing to actually be objective about it, you'll remember a time where people were looking at it where ICP was the money machine and that Twisted was what was really genuinely representing Juggalo culture. There was a time where that was what the balance was. It didn't stay that way, but there was absolutely a time where that was the general consensus in the community. And it's funny to me because I feel like we exist in a world where you can't even really say that to some people without them basically catching feelings as though I don't fuck with Twisted no more. It doesn't feel the same. I genuinely, I don't even know why, because I do still, when I go with my homies, like when I had this, the show that just recently, Juggalo Weekend in April, I ended up having to leave Twisted. Again, it's hard to explain, but somebody came in and I had to leave. And so I genuinely remember having the distinct thought in my head 3 different times, fuck Twisted, I don't give a shit. I genuinely do not feel bad at all that I am missing that set. And it's not because fuck Twisted. It's not because I don't like them. It's because this is what I'm saying. This is why Juggalo shit doesn't make sense to me. I do not know why I don't feel the same way anymore. I just don't. And it's not that I can't listen to the music. I will go in for my homies and I will still sing the words and I will still enjoy it. But I just inside, it doesn't feel the same anymore. And it's another one of these things where this culture does not make sense to me. Only it does make sense in the way that it is what it's one of the most important things in my life. And I approach it in a way where I always make sure that my family is taken care of. My son has never had to miss out on anything because I went to a show or performed somewhere or had to record something. I've always made sure that that was the case. And so, like, it's just, I feel like Juggalos are looked at in a way where they don't deserve to have that immediate, like, you see somebody that you think is a Juggalo and then immediately you will think, oh, this person is fucking low class. Hold on real quick. I was just.
You're good, dude. Oh, he X'd out. He said, hold up real quick. Damn.
Did he X out?
I don't know what happened.
I could talk about.
There he goes. Hey, what's up, brother?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you froze out there for a second.
All right, no word. Fair enough. No, I listen. My whole thing is that I look at Juggalo shit in this way of like, there's so many different facets to it that that's one of the reasons why I personally believe that the world has not gotten there's never been a definitive Juggalo documentary. The United States of Insanity was about the court case. It wasn't about the culture. There was a spotlight on the culture for a bit, but I don't believe that the culture has actually had its moment where people have been able to see this is what this actually is.
I'd say the
And
closest thing that we've gotten to that was kind of a self-produced thing. But do you remember a Family Underground?
Of course I remember. Okay, first of all, not only do I remember a Family Underground, my name is in the credits, but
the whole pardon me, Mr. Mad Max over there.
Hey, listen, look, I don't got many fucking credentials in my career, and that's a pretty solid
What
one.
were you credited for?
Bro, no, listen, the 2008 gathering was a bad gathering for me, just for the record. That gathering did not go well for me. But literally, that gathering went so badly, I was afraid to gather until the Wizard. I didn't gather for 8 years after that gathering. But then I'm looking at it where I'm probably not going to get to gather this year. But if somehow the universe aligns in a way that I can, and it's not going to fuck my life up, and I'm not in a position where I'm going to lose out somehow, then I'm probably going to. And just the fact of, I would happily, just to even get one set. And then I don't even know. I haven't seen ICP say, I don't ever get the Juggalo Day or fucking Hollow Wicked ever. So I haven't seen them since last year. Last year they did do pretty well, but I don't even know if it could be argued that they're doing their best shows right now. But I would still, I don't give a fuck. 12 hours one way, 12 hours back, and I would do it with a fucking smile. I would not even like. And again, I'm just like, I would love to have that follow-up conversation with Jay, but I'm only going to have it if it happens organically or it happens in a way where, again, he spent money to fly me out to Michigan. I can spend $150 to be like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I just honestly, I want to show you a picture of my kids. I want to let you know that this life has been amazing. And I don't know if you knew what you were doing when you had me come out there, but I genuinely like, it's weird the way that this shit happens, man, because I'm not trying to say this with any ego necessarily, but this is why I did The Merry-Go-Round Broke Down the way that it was, which that song was one of the last songs that got added to that album. I don't do this shit to be, I guess Kendrick Lamar said something like this recently. I don't do this shit because I want to succeed. I do this shit because I want to be the best at it. Like, I want to be the best Juggalo rapper. That's why Juggalo rapper ain't a dirty word to me. I can rap better than most fucking people, straight up and down. And again, I'm not even trying to say that shit with ego, but again, if you're like a snowboarder and you can do like a 720 corkscrew on a 50-foot jump, it's pretty legit. You know that you can do that, right? Like, the music, that absolutely is a thing where it is objective, and you can say that whether you enjoy something or not, that it still has its own merit. There is levels to this shit.
Yeah, and man, I will say, dude, I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but I don't mean to stroke your ego a little bit too much more, but I got to see you not last year, but it was the year before. You had a solo set. It was, I agree
with Woozy real quick. Just I don't mean to cut you off. I agree with you, Woozy. I don't think anybody needs to fight about none of that shit. I was just saying that the feelings that I have become stronger over time. But the fact that there is a rivalry, that is still a bit ridiculous to me. In any case, I'm sorry, Gunner, please continue.
No, go ahead. What really caught my attention was the Painted Ronin. That that song. I don't know, man. Like, there was just something about it, like just the energy you brought and the emotion, and then like even listening to it afterwards. Because sometimes, you see something live and it doesn't quite catch, like when you put the track on afterwards or whatever.
No, for sure. And I don't always, especially listen at the 22 gathering, the Gathering of Dreams.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't think these people would lie to me. They told me that the set was good. From watching the video, I felt like I always underestimate how hot it's going to be in the gathering. And I feel like my cardio could have been better, and that some of my delivery could have been better during that performance. However, again, a lot of my fans told me that they thought it was a great set. And I'm not the kind of person that I need people to tell me I did a good job when it comes to rapping. If I didn't nail that performance, that sucks, but whatever, it happens. The whole thing is that that gathering was like, again, there are shades and echoes of this shit, of the way that it has affected my life, that I know that it's very, very difficult for me to describe. Although here's one thing that I can point out. My son, who you see over here, I met his mother at the first show that I played at the Palladium in Worcester, the upstairs Palladium, where again, that's a place that ICP has been playing since the 90s and has always been one of these locations that ICP has, like, Worcester is, I don't know if you guys have ever been out here, but Worcester is different. Like, I've never been to Michigan, so I don't know what Michigan is like, but Worcester is just.
Is it Worcester, Worcester, or Worcester?
Oh, no, it's Worcester. It's Worcester, and it's no. Again, like I said, and having just put that video out, where I didn't do 2 videos at the Palladium for no reason. Like, it's very important to me that people recognize. And again, maybe it's just I don't know that everybody feels as strongly as I do about it, but I'm the kind of, like, I literally want to walk into places like Harvard sociology department and be like, okay, yeah, but so what about Juggalos? Because I genuinely, I do not think that proper emphasis has ever been placed on this culture exists in the strangest way, where it runs the gamut in a way that very, very few other things on planet Earth have the ability to be that diverse. And again, I have a stranger I've never met before in my life, but I'm fucking 5,000 miles away from my home. And these guys are, oh, you're a Juggalo? Oh, okay. Well, that dude that jacked you for $5 for cigarettes, we're going to go find him and kick his ass. And we didn't find the guy, thank God, because that would have been a massacre. But we were literally fucking walking through the mall 20 deep, and I met them an hour ago. And it's not quite the same anymore, but it is still, if you go places and you see a Juggalo that's a for real Juggalo and they see that you're a Juggalo, it's like you're compelled. You want to talk. Like, hey, what's up? You fucking, there's only so many of us. It is kind of remarkable to run into one that you don't actually know.
Dude, literally, bro. Or at least I'm fucking friends with them all on Facebook, or they follow you on Facebook.
No, true. Well, no, social media has definitely helped because, like I said, the Juggalo community is one of the first ones that went online. So there's been those connections. That's why the gathering still exists the way that it does, because so many of those friendships, it's like camp, summer camp. So just. It's fucking remarkable. And you want to know what? I am going to have to call myself because I need to be able to do things for, again, I didn't have anything going on for most of today, but my son needs me to bring him somewhere. And so that's what I got to go do. So, Gunnar, thank you as always.
Hey, brother.
This was, frankly,
I need you to do something quick. I need to make a statement. Yes.
Okay.
Nobody leave here quick. What we're going to do, if you can quick, go hop over to Twitch. We're going to raid Al Mal. Al Mal is live right now. So if you are not following us on Twitch, go hop over to Twitch. It's Underground Pulse Podcast. Go over there. Right now we're going to listen to some music after Max leaves and says his goodbyes, but go hop over there quick. And yeah, we'll go raid the fuck out of somebody. Anyway, Max, where can we find you?
So my music is on like the digital suite. So you have the Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, all that kind of shit. But it's also, I have a Bandcamp, madmax.bandcamp.com. I think you can still buy Kaleidoscope on there. Where, bro, this is one of these things that's been crazy to me. The amount of times that people have paid me for music that is free, it's like, y'all are fucking the shit. The idea that somebody would do that is just the freshest fucking thing in the world.
It's crazy.
And my merch game is not on point. I'm not, again, it sucks. I wish I was. I am really fucking incredibly good at making songs, at making music. Again, I'm not even trying to necessarily jerk myself off, but I am. I know that I'm good. But at the same time, I don't know how to do literally anything else. I don't know the amount of times, bro. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. The amount of times I have driven my merch 13 hours across state lines to then not take it out of my car after and do the show and then never bring it in the venue because I was like, oh, there's really nowhere to set it up and I don't even know whatever. So fuck it, whatever. Like I just do this shit. I don't even, and that's the funny thing where everybody else wants me to have an ego about it. I really try so hard to have no ego whatsoever about being who I am. Like, I don't think there's any other Juggalo rapper at all that has it where the name that they're rapping under was given to them by Violent J. If there is, I don't know of it. I haven't heard that.
You're literally the only person I've ever heard
and
that
so
from.
And again, like the whole thing is that this is like I said it a couple of times already. Juggalo rapper is not a dirty word in my mind because I am a Juggalo rapper and I am genuinely like, again, I don't like to have an ego. I really fight aggressively against having that. But like, I do this shit. I do this shit in a way where apparently if you can do this shit well enough and you can get enough people to notice, you can like, that's the fucking dream, isn't it? And I would never, ever, I would love to be just a Juggalo. I would love to not have to, the gathering be business. You know what I'm saying? Where I don't like having, if I want to perform at the gathering, I want it to be fun. I don't want it to feel like work. But at the same time, knowing that that is something that I believe that I could do in a way where it could be my work. I absolutely believe that that is, and who knows what's going to happen. Because again, for the first fucking time in 20 years that I have been making music, finally have a situation where I am able to make music that is 1,000% mine. Like, it's like basically I've just been practicing until now. And now I am able to start doing it for real. That is, as I have said in the past today, objectively hilarious.
Well, dude, I gotta say, man, like, because we interviewed you before, anytime we've had you in the chat, it's always dropping knowledge bombs, always dropping truth, and you're like, and as I stated before, dude, like,
I love Juggalos, man. I want to see all Juggalos succeed and thrive and be happy and have good lives. And it's difficult for a lot of them because a lot of Juggalos have very fucking dramatic lives. Ask me how I know. And so because my life is fucking dramatic. But fucking again, I love seeing Juggalos win. I love watching. Juggalos are some of the most creative, intelligent people I've ever met. It's unfortunate that some of them also happen to be helplessly drug addicted and mentally ill, because sometimes that's what makes them interesting. But a lot of the time, it's just that they're an interesting fucking person. And so, you know what I'm saying? I love Juggalos, man. I love Juggalos and I love the culture. And that's why I'm so protective of it, because it has given me my entire life.
Well, shit, dude. Is there anything else you would like to say, homie?
Fruit Pie the fucking magician. I'm not sure I believe that's true. Do you actually believe that they had a conversation in a fucking record label office and said to Chris Caffiero or whatever Blazes, I don't know his actual name, I apologize.
Wait,
do you
what
think
is
that they
Fruit Pie the
actually said to
Magician?
him, you are going to be Fruit Pie the magician? That literally sounds like something.
Wait,
that they
what are we
came up
talking
with.
about?
Are you not seeing it in the comments? Fruit Pie the
Yeah,
magician.
yeah,
Supposedly that was a name that was floated for Blazy Den Homie.
What?
Yes, exactly. That's my point. Is that it was supposedly floated as a genuine option that they considered, and that's my point. I don't believe that.
No,
you never heard about that, and they always love to make jokes about shit. We never heard about that until after the split, and then after they had incentive to be angry. So I don't know if I believe that that's true, and I appreciate. I've seen some of the comments, y'all. Thank you for going and listening to my music, and I like genuinely. I will. God willing, someday I get rich so I can just give shit to my fans, because you will never know how much it has helped me. I've apparently helped people from not committing suicide, and you have done the same for me, because knowing that I have had any influence in your life, or that you even heard a song that I made and enjoyed it, is I have no words, and which is obviously crazy to consider because I have lots of them, but I could never express how much I appreciate that you feel the things that I put out there, because it really is all just, I'm fucking plugged into the universe in whatever way, and whatever I can get out, apparently it does something for some people, and then I am lucky enough to get a little bit back for it. But that's not why I do it. I do it because it's just, it feels right. It feels like it's what I'm supposed to do.
It's real.
And I fucking, again, when somebody looks you in the face and basically says, I have kids and they wouldn't have a father if I hadn't heard a song you wrote, how the fuck do you not treat it like a responsibility? That's why I've been feeling like shit lately, is that I know I'm supposed to be doing this shit, but I have been mentally crippled by this situation where basically music is what brought you this, but now music is apparently the thing that is getting in the way of it. It's complicated, does not even begin. And so that's why I also, again, it's just my character type. I will never shut the fuck up. Thank you, Gunner. I appreciate it.
No, we'll get you here for another hour if you keep talking, bro. I don't give a fuck.
No, I listen, respect, man. And I do appreciate that. Again, my thing is, I don't want to have, because again, I genuinely, I do not believe that I am a particularly interesting person. It is this culture that I have,
media, bro.
If anything, if I am, it is because this culture gave me the correct eyes to look at the world that I live in and be able to understand enough about it to be able to not have been killed by it. Again, with it's someday I'll be able to talk about it. Before you go, today. Yes, go right ahead.
List off a couple of rappers that you would like to collab with.
You know what? I saw that. I hate to say it, but it's the kind of thing where you want to know who I want to. Again, I have a hard time with this because I never want to be mean to anybody, but I want to rap with rappers that can fucking rap. And the thing is, my bar is high. My bar on what you consider, a lot of people that I've seen people say, oh, that dude's got bars. I look at these people and I'm like, wait, fucking really? That's bars? Fuck, man. All right.
Yeah. The bars for bars are low.
I don't have any, and it's not out of contempt, but I genuinely don't listen to a lot of underground rappers that you would consider my constituents. I put it to you like this. I always want to make more music with Fams and the Hooligans. I love working with them. They are some of my favorite people on the planet. Nasty is also the homie. If we can ever get it together, we actually started a collab project. I don't know if we're ever going to finish it, but I have laid a lot of the groundwork, so it's possible. But Problematic, I'm also working with him. That's the homie, been the homie for a long time. That is also another one where you would not assume that he's a Juggalo. The kind of person that he is, the kind of personality, where he comes from, his culture, you would not assume that he is a Juggalo, but he for sure is. And it's like, there's not many. I want to work with, if people send me tracks, literally, if your shit is dope and the beat's good, it makes me want to write to it. And if I like it enough, I might not even ask you for money. But the problem is, so few people rap that well that has literally happened 0 times. So it's like a fantasy in my head, basically. But I really do enjoy rapping. You want to know what? V Sinister, because I haven't done a fucking track with him yet. And it's really because I never put one together. He would. Insane Poetry too, that's another one. But the whole thing is, I really just want to work with these people. Like, Insane Poetry is an amazing rapper, and he's also just a really cool guy. I like to work with people that's why Schizo I had on my album, because me and Schizo were like talking more at that time. And we hung out at Gorefest that year. And so that was why I ended up working with him. And Scum I worked with, because Scum is just the fucking coolest guy in the world. And I'm always glad to work with him. But anyway, thank you, Gunner. I appreciate it. And again, we could do this again. It's probably, I actually am kind of glad that Tom had to leave before I got on, because that would have been, again, I am so bad. You motherfuckers need to start interrupting me.
Yeah, no. You're your own person, dude.
Yeah, well, no, fair enough. But I I also clearly have no control. I
Noted.
love y'all.
Next time I'll tell you to
Much
STF
fucking
you.
love, man.
No, rock and
Much
roll.
love.
Thank you guys
Take
so
care,
much
man.
for fucking having me. I'll see you guys again.
All right, whoop whoop.
Oh, yeah, whoop whoop.
All right, oh jeez, no.
Don't do that, bro.
Yeah, no. All right, okay. As I was saying previously, if you haven't yet, I'm gonna put the link in the YouTube description. If you're on YouTube, come hop over to Twitch. We're gonna go raid out quick. While we're waiting, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna show some love from my homies, members of the Lotus.
If I would trade 10 Juggalos for 100 mainstream fans. And I said I wouldn't trade 10 Juggalos for 100,000 mainstream fans.
Over
10 Juggalos is
to
priceless.
Twitch.
I got love for my homies.
Come on. Come on.
United we stand.
We gotta go now. I need at least 5 of you people up in here. We need at least 2 more. Actually, fuck it. Let's bring 3 more people up in here. I see all y'all over there in YouTube land. Come on over to Twitch.
Come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube.
Always got your back.
I'll be right back.
Hell yeah. What
We're
up,
gonna blaze a couple
Bad
bowls before we go. We're gonna blaze a couple. I'll be right back.
So many people in the matrix die alone. Hey, not me. My soul belongs to Juggalos.
Hey, Bad Soft, Sugar Wolf. Don't forget to give us a follow on
Pick the
Twitch.
phone up, drop him a line, and hear him shout, saying Twisted is the shit, and I'm down with the clown. Dark Lotus for life until I'm dead in the ground. I give a dap to all my homies and killers who get it started. All my Juggalos always represent for the departed. Yeah.
Mass murder makes me happy.
Dead bodies make me happy until eternity. I'll always have Juggalo family.
Oh, no,
Mass
Nicky.
murder makes me happy.
Dead bodies make me happy until eternity. I'll always have Juggalo family. 6 individual petals form from one stem. Ain't trying to ride no wave and don't follow any trend. Cause we ascend from the dirt, filth, grit and grind. Make a bind, Juggalo minds to crush, mason shines. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is yours. Let the wagons of the dark carnival show you different worlds. Any hoes front at Juggalos or the hatchet, tell them come suck on your dick. We psychopathic.
All my life I've been living it all alone. I'm like a king with no people and no crown or a throne. And what I'm speaking on is what I'm feeling like. Do you know what it's like to feel the warmth of the sunlight? I'd really like to know, cause I've been chilling in the dark.
Easy, let's get you over in the Twitch chat. Anybody chilling, come over to the Twitch. We about to raid out to the homies.
And all the love that they bring. Mass murder makes me happy.
Dead bodies make me happy.
Smoke it if you got it. This is a chill sesh right now.
I'll always have Juggalo family.
Here, I'll pop the link for y'all right quick.
Makes me happy.
Dead bodies make me happy until eternity.
Alright, I just posted the link in the YouTube chat. Come over to Twitch.
If it wasn't for the Juggalos, I don't know.
What up,
Probably
Buzz?
be robbing everybody in the world for sure. So I'm thankful for the family that adopted me in. And since I live for the underground, it all fit in. I can't explain all the power that the carnival brings. All the
Thank you guys.
energy
Thank
from
you guys.
your
Keep it coming in. Let's keep rolling in.
All I know
We're
is that
gonna
I'm
raid out
staying
here in just a
where I
little
belong.
bit.
Dark Lotus on my wrist until I'm dead.
Got it, spark it
Shaggy,
up.
my shirt would still be baggy. I wouldn't be
Smoking on
fat,
in
I'd
the
still
in
be
the
hungry
chat.
and crabby.
Just a little
We used
bit
to
left.
buy
I gotta
our
go
own
get a little
records at
more,
the stores, so they would think it was a hot
No,
seller and order more. But we built a team, killers with the same dream. We couldn't reach the top, we stayed B-level like Charlie Sheen. Finally realized we'll always have the Juggalos. I'll never give another second to the mother hoe.
Ah, makes me happy.
Dead bodies make me happy until eternity. I'll always have
Mass murder makes me happy.
dead bodies make me happy.
Yeah, Sugar Wolf. I think Sugar Wolf. If you're talking about hey, yeah, dude, don't ever be afraid to podcast, bro. Here, let me give this a pause quick. Dude, if you feel it's something you want to do, like podcasting, music, anything like that, the only thing stopping you is yourself, bro. Like, you know, you just gotta come with dope content that people want to see. You know what I mean? And sharing a lot. A lot of shares everywhere. Share it literally everywhere. Once again, if you're tuned into YouTube, hop over to Twitch. I'm not going to stop till we get 2 more viewers up in this bitch. We got to hit 8 viewers up in the Twitch chat. We got 4 people over on YouTube right now. Hop over to Twitch. Here, that's what I'm going to do for y'all one more time.
That's what's up, Sugar Wolf. Dope shit, dope shit.
All non-juggalo pods, but I'm experienced in the game. Oh, yeah. All right, man. That's my bad. That's my bad then. Capture Culture Podcast if you want to be here. This is what I'll do for you.
And they wanted to know.
Here, I'll even throw that up on there, man.
For 100 mainstream fans.
We'll give you a little bit of promotion here. All y'all go ahead, check that out. Capture Culture Podcast.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. Turning it back up just a little bit. All right, we're gonna listen to one more track and then we're gonna raid out. So smoke it if you got it. This is our goodbyes. Thank you for everybody tuning in.
It's been an amazing.
It was a good one. This was a good one today.
On a journey, a tale of an instrument of death. Watch us as we pass.
Hop over to Twitch, homies. We got 8 up in there. This is what I like to see.
It's telling me I got a fucking bloody the misled. My victim approach, cut her head off at the throat. She was a hooker with AIDS, spreading disease like it was dope. Cut the head off her pimp before he started the trash talk. 2 bodies in my trunk and police on the manhunt. I'm on the loose again. They chasing me for blocks. See the homie on the street, so I pass axe the mad
I took the axe, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? It's all bloody and it looks like it's been in and out of someone's back. Gristle on the handle, blood dripping down the neck, so I grabbed that bitch like back. Who wanna get halved up by the half-wit? Who got a gang of problems and don't give a half a shit, bitch? You can fall victim to the double-headed fury. Don't be scared, be worried, man.
Pass me something sharp and wicked, and I'll pass it back. Don't worry, I'll pass it back. It's raining, the rain is dark and liquid, and I'll pass it back. Don't worry, I'll pass it back. I'll hack you.
Took the axe back to the shed where I stay. Cleaned off the blood and then sharpened up the blade. Waited till dark and then ran through the hood and chopped up drunk bums like they're blocks of wood. I can't see myself stopping. If I do, then I'm dead. And the only way I'm dying is if I sever my own head. Grip on the tip so my nub won't slip, and I'm about to fucking pass it to the hands of 2 dope, bitch.
You think everybody in the Twitch chat right now commenting, can I get a whoop whoop, please? Give me a whoop whoop.
I blacked out last night, realized in the morning. Gotta dig another hole in the backyard. Run, get me a shovel. It ain't that hard. Understand I got a hairpin trigger wrist. Wanna squeeze it off? You get the gist. Pass me something sharp and wicked, and I'll pass it back. Don't worry, I'll pass it back. It's raining, the rain is dark and liquid.
Yo, YouTube. If you're on YouTube, come over to Twitch right quick. We're about to raid out.
Perhaps I had a relapse.
I'm gonna send another link here quick.
I couldn't relax. I cut through it.
Smoke it if you got it. We all about to blaze one quick.
The feeling of committing the incision, flip it over. A radio programmer pound his head into a bloody pizza with a hammer, threw it into the sky and let it stick in my back and passed out at Maxxx front porch like that. I took the axe and lost my fucking mind on this cop who pulled up behind me. I handcuffed him on the side of the street and started smacking him with it like I was making a beat. Oh God, another cop pulled up, so I grabbed the same axe and planted it in his forehead. 2 more dead, bloody and dismembered. Now it's back in his shit, and that's all I remember.
What up,
everybody? Something sharp and wicked, and I'll pass it back. Don't worry, I'll pass it back. It's raining, the rain is dark and liquid.
Shout out, Mama Bear.
Yo, Mama Bear, what up? Whoop, whoop, everybody. All right, I want to say thank you for everybody who tuned in. Y'all are the motherfucking shit. This whole roulette system, I think, is going to be a great thing for the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in to round 1 of Gathering Roulette. We will be back next week as well. So here we go. Let's raid out. Is it raiding out? There we go. See you guys. They raid out for you, Frankie?
It did.
Sweet.
We are sporadic.
All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Whoop, whoop.